held tight around me, heart within. Doors might open any moment now, gotta be prepared somehow. I'm ready and waiting, fire burning bright. I'm ready and waiting through longest night. Won't let it die out, won't fade away. Ready and waiting for that day. Burning, burning, never gonna stop. Burning, burning, till the moment comes.
Hey, everybody. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Luca's lights are even going on. How is it going? We are joined by Luca, PJ, and Derek, who will come back in now. It's good to see you guys. Hope you're all doing well.
Good to see us.
Mhm.
That's
And everybody,
Jesus loves
in
us.
the- amen, for sure. And everybody in the YouTube land, it's good to see you guys too. Please do me a favor, hit the likes, share the show. Tonight is just a
A quit and
Q&A kind of thing, so it's just an open panel chat actually.
It's a quit
And I'm
and
sure there's some people that want to give questions, because there is 41% of people say yes, they have questions to say. So we'll see how that works. But it's good to see you guys. Glad we could make it. Luca did ask us a question before we started already. He was too eager to wait a few seconds. Do you want to ask your question again, Luca?
Yeah. It was about Flapzoid's little clip of the sun and moon. That was one of them I had. But it was unrelated to the topic. That's why I asked it early. Because I had another question about the Bible, but we can start with this one.
Okay, we'll start
Yeah,
with this one. Okay, this is the clip you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
So obviously it's taken, since it's you, it's taken in South Africa.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
assume the what 22nd? Is that when you took this? Oh.
This is like a few. I actually took this thing, I think, last week sometime. I only uploaded it this week though. But look at this, the moon there, Luca.
Hmm.
Is that moon fully lit up by the sun?
No.
and the sun looks pretty much adjacent to it, doesn't it?
Look where the sun's position is.
Yeah.
What?
So the
Like the
sun
Earth is not in the way.
It's pretty much opposite.
Yes.
So what's
The
blocking
problem-
the light from fully lighting up the moon's surface?
Yeah. How come we don't see the full 360 degrees circle of the moon?
I mean, the
is
moon
like-
is dirt, right? A physical
It
object.
is like it is like 400 times more farther away, though.
Oh, that doesn't matter.
What? Why?
The
Why
po-
would
the
that
point
matter?
is, Luca, if you have a light source, let's say my hand is the sun, light source, and you have the moon,
Mm-hmm.
and it's reflecting, the whole thing should be lit up.
Yeah, at least half of the
Yeah,
moon
no.
should be lit up, right?
And it's not fully lit up. So therefore, the sun is not causing the light on the moon.
But
The moon
you
is its
can't
own light.
really say that they're right next to each other, though.
They are, literally.
Because the sun is 400 times more further away.
Doesn't
So
matter.
in reality, it's like this. Really?
The sun's not 400 more times more further away.
But it's 93 million
It's not.
miles, and the moon is like 250, right?
Yeah, and the moon is closer than the Earth to the sun, is it not?
Yeah, but since the sun is
Ah.
further away, then it.
What
then
does it matter
wouldn't-
though? Isn't it that it doesn't the sun give the moon a full moon?
Yeah, we have phases.
So what does the distance have to matter then?
Well, we have phases because the get we with but The moon, well, according to us, the moon orbits the Earth and the Earth orbits the Sun. Therefore, when the moon is in a particular part of its orbit, that is what causes the phases, basically. I think.
Thinking back to when I was a glober and trying to come up with explanations, I mean, no matter how many mental gymnastics you do, it still comes up senseless. Like, no, this does not make sense.
Right.
Look, Luca. Okay. This is supposed to be the Earth. Supposed to be the Sun. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we can see the moon there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You'll agree that due to the light from the sun, all this should be lit up, correct?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yet this is what we see.
Hmm.
What's that? What's going on, Luca?
Well,
Well, actually, it's not like that. It's more or less like this. It's not difficult to draw to the. More or less like that, though.
Someone
So
took a
what's-
bit of bait out of it.
What's the issue there?
doesn't the Well, I think that's for the case of the new moon or full moon when the Earth obstructs the sun. Therefore, the Earth causes a shadow on the moon, and
There's
that's
no
why we
Earth.
can't see
The
the
Earth's
moon.
not in the way there. That's the point, Luca.
That's not.
But the Earth does get in the way
Not at that.
at points.
It does not. No.
He started. Flats is standing on the Earth, looking to the sun, then looking to the moon. So where is the Earth in the way there?
Let's look at it again. Show me where the Earth is in the way. If you draw a line, it's literally horizontal to each other.
That's not in the way there.
No.
That's the way I understand. I understood it. It's the Earth's shadow that's causing the
Well, it
phases
takes a
of the
warping
moon.
of your mind, but that's not actually what's supposed to be happening if the moon's a terrestrial object.
But I can sort of see your point there. How would the Earth's shadow be in the way if you're both looking up at
Well,
the
the sun
object?
is above the Earth in
Right.
this picture, in this video. Yeah, no, the Earth is not in the way.
Hey, we wouldn't. We should not.
Although-
For that to happen, we shouldn't be able to see the sun at that point on your
Although-
on your model.
Now that I'm looking at it, the sun, wouldn't the part that you can't see be classed as the dark side of the moon?
Is the moon supposed to be a full sphere, Luca?
Yeah.
Does that look like a full sphere to you?
No, because the sun can't reach the other half.
That's the point, Luca. It's supposed to be lighting up the whole face of the moon there, correct?
Yeah, it's supposed to be illuminating half of the
And
moon.
it's not the full half, is it?
Yeah, I mean that's if you're taking
Well,
the whole.
yeah,
If you're taking the whole sphere of the moon, if the moon was a sphere, then that's only quarter lit.
But the reason is that the sun, let's say, is over here, and the moon is like here, then you're going to see that the sun can reach this part, but leaves this part in the darkness, right? Because the sun doesn't hit it.
But that's not the
Right.
backside of the moon. We should still be able to see that front face of it if
Yeah, the dark
Going
side
by
of the moon
that,
is supposed
you
to be
know.
the back half.
yeah. This is meant to be what we're looking at. Just say if it was a sphere, we'd be looking at the front side right now. The dark side should be over the other side. It should still be a full circle that we see.
Well, I agree that one hemisphere of the moon should always be lit, right? It's always illuminated by the sun. But both the orbit and the vantage point of where we are standing changes the visibility of what we see. Right? Would you agree that a person standing here and a person standing like here would see different like,
Okay, Luca.
because they have a different vantage point, they'd see different, well, they'd see more or less of the moon because of
Let me do it this way, actually.
yeah, but, see, that's like
Okay. Can you see this?
yeah. I agree that the half of the like one hemisphere should always be physically, one hemisphere of the moon is always illuminated, right?
And that's not what we see with that video.
But it's not visually what we see. Yes, I agree.
So that's wrong then. The globe's wrong.
No, because our
Yeah.
vantage point like shifts during the month, right? So we are seeing like varying fractions of that illuminated half.
Again, you would see the whole thing lit up. The whole moon. The whole face should see lit up. It's not.
Yes, because we are at different vantage points during the month, right?
It's not about your vantage point. I mean,
about the
like,
light
try to
lighting it
look
up.
for-
It doesn't matter if I lift up and look at the bottom from the ball, I still see where the light source is, it will light up. If I even look at the top, I'll still see where the light source is. Like, it doesn't matter which your vantage point is. The point is the physical light is reaching the physical ball you claim,
Right.
yet that physical
Yes,
ball is
the
not lit up
physical-
by the physical light.
There's
Yes,
no structure.
physically,
Hey,
I'm
Luca.
not.
Luca, let me just help you because you're explaining it well. They're just not understanding it. Flatzoid, pull up your sketch that you did. That's a great sketch.
The one that wasn't in scale, I have to redraw it again.
Like,
It doesn't
I
just
make
agree.
it
For this, it doesn't have to be
I
the scale.
absolutely agree that physically, yes, one hemisphere is always lit up by the
The
sun.
problem, Luca, is he drew
Visually.
the wrong. The problem is he drew the wrong hemisphere blocked by the sun.
Visually, it's not.
What?
Visually, we see because our vantage point changes over the month. Right?
This will take 2 seconds. It's not that hard to understand. It is difficult to explain, but Flats has got a good drawing here.
Okay? Or no?
Okay, so draw the terminator line on the Earth. On the Earth.
There it is.
Yeah, do you know what a terminator? Which side is in darkness?
Okay. Well, according to your belief system.
Yeah, we're doing the globe. I agree with you.
Okay.
It should be perpendicular to the sun.
Yeah.
So draw a line from the
Okay,
sun.
so it'll be like this.
Yeah, there you go. Good job. Now do
Okay.
it on the moon.
Wow.
That's not what we're seeing.
Yeah, put your person on the Earth, kind of where your cursor is.
But I'm standing here.
Yep. You see half the moon lit. See that?
That's not what we see. You should see the whole moonlit.
What are you talking about? You have the terminator. Do you
You can
deny?
literally see
the
you can
Terminator
literally
line?
You can literally see the whole. I can see the underneath of the moon.
You can't. Yeah, exactly. But you can't see it.
Listen,
Why'd you
You can't see it.
delete the Terminator line on the moon?
because
you
I'm trying
draw-
to show you. You can see this.
Draw
This
the
is your
Terminator
clear
line
view.
now, Flatzoid.
This is no. You wanted me to put a Terminator line the same as the moon. As the Earth.
Yeah, draw the Terminator line for the moon.
There
had
is
it
no
on there.
Terminator line. That's the point. The light is reaching
Wait.
it fully.
Why did you draw it before then? Are you
Because
seriously
you told me
lying?
to. Because you told me to.
Okay, draw the Terminator line on the moon.
There is no Terminator line.
Why is there one on the Earth but not on the moon?
You told me to put it on.
Yes, on the Earth and the moon. Go ahead.
Even on your globe model, this Terminator line would be on the Earth because the sun is here.
I agree with you.
And
I do the same thing
But
for
the
do
problem
same-
is
see he
the
won't
sun
do it.
is reaching the whole point of the moon.
No,
There
draw
is
the
no
Terminator line.
line.
Draw the
Okay.
Terminator line.
Okay, there.
See, there
Right
is
there.
one. Okay, now look.
The moon definitely has.
You just said the
Okay.
moon doesn't have one.
It doesn't. It won't because it's totally lit up.
Why is
Okay.
there one on the
Here's
Earth?
the Terminator line
I
according
thought
to
you said it
you.
wasn't.
Because you told him
Okay,
to put it
here's the
there.
Terminator line according to you, Wesley.
Okay, and now you could, if you move the moon a little bit closer, you'd be able to see the backside, the dark side of the moon there.
You can't see a dark side of the moon because there's no light.
That's why it's half blocked out in your video. You explained it perfectly. Good job.
No. Let me show you something.
For goodness sake.
I know this guy's a
I know,
moron,
how
but
can you not get
sometimes
this,
this moron.
PJ?
No, how can you not frigging get it, bro? And how can you laugh at what
Look.
you're saying?
Everybody else in
Unbelievable.
chat
But
understands.
remember, we don't believe in a frigging heliocentric world.
The thing is,
I
he thinks
understand
just
that.
because
I'm
he.
explaining the globe.
Well then,
No.
I understand it from where you're coming from, but that's not what we see.
You only see part of the moon lit up. What are you talking about?
Oh.
How's that hard to understand?
Got to remember, we don't believe it's bloody heliocentric, do we?
What does that have to do with what we're talking about?
Oh, shut up.
You're trying to
Shut up.
place it. Okay, what's the issue here, dude?
Okay, now draw the moon a little bit closer to the sun and a little bit more over the guy's head. Just move the whole thing.
But the moon wasn't over his head.
It's a little bit closer, not directly over his head. Move it, halfway in between there. Yep, there. You can see half of the moon lit up.
It's not the same.
Exactly the same. You're right, but you didn't
It's
draw it
not.
to scale either. You didn't draw it to scale either.
It's not the same because it's not to scale.
Exactly, but it would get
Are
closer.
are you not understanding what's going on here? The shadows does not match up with the full light of the moon of the sun.
Part of this moon is not being lit up.
Where's,
in
let
your-
me try and explain. Let me try and explain this to you. You see
Okay.
this moon here?
Yep.
Okay. Do you know what
Does
should
it
be
look
lit
like
up?
a half of a sphere?
Do you
Does
know
it
what
look
should be lit up? The whole thing, the whole face. Do you understand
No.
that?
No,
The light is
You're
reaching.
strawmanning. You're
The
strawmanning.
light is reaching. The light is reaching this whole face, the full moon.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Look at your
If it
drawing.
were physical,
Literally
it ought
not.
to be.
This guy is literally okay. Let me go. Let's go back to
Do you
this.
see your moon is half lit up on the screen right now?
Because it doesn't work. That's why it's half lit up. Because it's not
No, you
showing.
don't understand. You
There
don't
we go.
understand.
There we go. There's the
Yes.
actual moon. Is the whole sky lit up?
Yes.
The atmosphere. Yes.
Ah, so is
Yeah.
the whole face the moon lit up?
No.
No.
Which face? Which face? The one facing Earth?
Okay.
Which face? Which
So
face?
let's get back to
one-
the ball. Is this
Which face?
whole is this whole ball lit up? The whole face lit up?
The whole ball is not lit up. That front.
You can
half
see
of
the whole
it-
face. You can see the whole face.
No, I can't. I can't see the back.
The whole face in front.
Okay, the front of it. Yes, I can see it lit up now.
Okay. Now is the whole room lit up?
The whole room? Yeah, because you have many lights on.
No, I have one light on.
Well, then
But
it's
I'm going to
bouncing
switch
off
the light
other
off again.
switches.
I'm going to switch the light off again,
Yeah.
and I'm just going to show the ball,
Cool.
and then you're gonna see.
Okay.
Okay. So the only light coming to me now is from the computer. Is the whole face lit up?
One side, yes. The other side isn't.
Ah,
Now look at it from the side, Flats. Look at it from the side, your side. Is the whole face lit up looking at you?
yes.
The
Yes.
whole face is looking at you, looking from the side.
The whole thing is lit up.
You can
The
see
whole
the back
face
half.
is lit up.
You can
The
see the
whole
back half.
face is lit up.
You can
the
see
whole
the
face
back
is lit
half.
up.
You can see the back half.
I'll actually take a photo for you. How's that?
Is it?
Oh,
How do we get Terminator lines then?
Please. Please. So
Okay. Let me put my lights on. I'll quickly send the photo to the computer. It's so sad. You guys want to call us the stupid ones, but you don't
Yeah,
understand.
you
such
are.
stupid
You
things.
are. You didn't even think that the moon had a Terminator line.
I literally got demonstrations showing you wrong.
You thought the moon didn't have a Terminator line.
It doesn't because it's not a physical object.
Well, then you don't understand the globe model.
I don't care about the
These
globe
were
model.
I'm not
globers.
talking.
We care about reality, not the globe model.
If you want to debunk the globe
Okay,
model,
there we
need to
go.
then
understand it.
you
There we
better
go.
know
That's the
it.
photo.
Yeah, you see how the back half isn't lit up?
It's literally lit up. I can see it.
It's oh my gosh, dude!
You do
you're
know
just
light
so
wraps
losing it.
around. Does light wrap around?
Is it the same brightness as the front to the back?
Obviously not. The light still wraps
Okay,
around.
good. So it's darker in the back, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, but I can still see it. And look at the line. Look at the line. Is the whole listen? Is the whole face?
Look at your finger.
Lit
you can't
up.
even see your pointer finger in that.
Is
It's
the
so dark.
whole? My flipping fingers behind the ball, you moron.
So it's
is
dark,
the
right?
whole-
Right, Flats? So it's dark.
Wesley,
No.
Wesley,
Hey,
Why did you say
Wesley,
that? Why
is
did you
the
say that?
whole is the whole face of the ball lit up or not?
No. You said-
What?
You said you couldn't
Guys,
see your
guys on the
finger.
panel, is the whole face of the ball lit up or not?
Luca, is it lit up in the back? Yeah.
No.
Good. I just want to come on to just show how just completely misunderstanding of the ball, or you're just lying to save face.
You can
Which is it?
you can see that from your point of view, the camera's point of view, you can see that one half is lighter than the other half, right?
No, he won't admit it. It would destroy his worldview.
Let's
All right.
get it up again.
shut up, man.
Don't you understand?
That's
I don't know
really
how-
what you believe, isn't it? That's unbelievable that you can say that.
You
I
believe
said
every
projection- I
photo
said
from
projection
space is
in
fake
force.
and video from space is fake.
Yes,
You have no-
absolutely. Yes, because
Yeah.
it friggin' is. Been
You
proven
have-
over and
you
over
have
again.
no
Yes, it's
clue.
fake. It is fake. It is fake. 100%.
You have no
Yes.
clue as you sit at
100%.
home.
see
There's been
why-
loads of proof. Loads.
Let's see if I can
Roads-
explain this to you
roads,
even in a more
dumbest guy on
I'm
this
simple
not going
way.
to talk to you.
road.
You're not worth talking to, bro.
Yeah,
I don't
I
like
agree.
your attitude. You're an asshole.
Yeah.
Let me try.
You really
yeah,
are
you-
an asshole.
You don't even know what a Terminator line
the
is.
problem.
PJ.
The problem is,
I know what a
Luca.
freaking Terminator line is. You're just an asshole.
Yeah,
The
sure.
The problem
I don't want to
is.
believe in your heliocentric shit.
Helio.
The problem
Hold on.
is with the
So you're
problem.
taking piss at my accent now. Is that what it is?
Stuttering
The problem
moron.
with
Wow.
the problem.
Absolute
Okay,
prick.
guys. The problem with Wesley is he's just a Dunning-Kruger. That's all. He doesn't want to accept his
Just a
wrong.
Dunning-Kruger?
Yeah.
Do you even know what that
you're-
means?
Yes,
Ditto.
Just a
you are
Dunning-Kruger.
very confident. You're very confident in your incredulity. Okay, so tell me what's the difference here, Wesley?
Their opposite sides are darkened. If you would rotate one picture.
Yeah.
Why
Okay.
did you say Flatzoid that your finger is behind the ball? You can't see it.
Because a ball is physical.
Yeah,
A
but
ball
you
is
see the
physically
back.
blocking my finger, is it not?
No, but you see behind it that it's all dark, your finger, where the rest of
Hey,
your hand is
moron!
white.
Hey, moron!
You can't answer
Let's
the
do this
question.
way. Hey, moron!
You can't
Can
answer
you
the question.
see my finger?
Don't.
Can
No,
you
the
see
part
my?
that's in the shadows. The part that's in the shadows.
Can you
Are you gonna
see
straw
my
man my
finger?
argument? Are you gonna
Can you
straw man
see
my
my
argument?
finger through a ball,
Are
Wesley?
you straw manning my argument now?
Can you see my other finger through a ball, Wesley?
Do you see the darkened part of your finger?
Can I? Yes, I can see it.
Okay, why is it dark?
Because a ball is in front of it.
It's blocking the light.
Yes, and nothing's
Good
blocking the
job.
moon, idiot.
Good job, Flatsoid. You
And
got
nothing,
there. And
the
that's
Earth's
how a
not blocking the
Terminator
moon.
line.
Wesley, do you
That's how a
understand?
Terminator
Is
line
the
works.
Earth blocking the moon, Wesley?
Is the Earth blocking the moon? Nope, never said it was.
So how the hell is it getting a shadow then without the Earth blocking the moon? Oh
Like
my
the-
word. So you don't know the difference between a physical ball blocking my finger and the nothing blocking the moon.
No, the ball. See, Terminator lines. I know it's hard, Flatfoot.
Listen, you dipshit. Nothing is blocking the moon.
Hey, you guys
The
notice how he has
physical
to
ball is
insult when he
blocking my
can't do
finger.
science?
Wesley, no.
You know how he has
here's
to-
what's wrong, man.
When he-
Yes,
so he
I
insults
was
you, but you
wrong
laugh,
when I
all
said
you do is,
that.
Is that
Like,
insulting?
show me some examples
Yes,
of
it
the
is insulting
Terminator
just to
line
laugh
at
showing
someone's
only
face, yes.
30% of
If you were to hold up a golf
daylight.
ball in the same position as the moon, it would do the same exact thing. It's been done
Are you
millions of
standing
times.
on the Earth with? Are you standing on the Earth with a golf ball?
Sure.
Is the moon on the Earth like the golf ball?
Nope, but it's in the same.
So it's not the same angle, then, is it?
It is.
No, it's not.
It's almost identical. It's nearly identical.
You're doing exactly what Bob the not science guy doesn't get.
He
When
knows more
I'm
science than
standing
all of you
looking
guys
up
put
at the
together.
moon, it's not the same as me holding a damn tennis ball or a golf ball.
Luca, this is what you get when you talk with.
What
a
you talking to,
spray
Luca? You're
painter
talking
about
to me,
physics.
Wes.
A
Wesley, I
spray
thought you're
painter.
talking to you. This is not physics.
See, a spray painter. You're
This is
talking about
physics.
insults. Now
Oh, by
you're
the way,
trying- and
no,
insult
Wesley-
is
No, that's
the
true.
work the
I'm a
eyes.
paint
TJ,
technician, but okay,
Don't be,
it's fine.
don't be
Wes-
ashamed of the truth.
Wes, do you know I choose to be a spray painter?
Yeah, because you couldn't do science or
Wow.
art or
Wow.
Bible.
Wow.
Oh, really? That's why I literally studied art and got a damn. How can I put it this way? I got 3 distinctions while studying art.
What degree?
98%.
What degree?
What do you
Did you
mean? What
get-
degree?
Level of education? You don't know what a degree is? Seriously? You went to
What
university.
degree do you
know what a
want?
degree- What degree do you have?
The highest degree I could get for art.
Which is? Yeah,
Art.
silence. Silence.
No,
All
what
right,
degree
dude,
do you
I'm-
want?
I'm
You don't study
Bachelor's?
7 years for art.
bachelor's of art, bachelor's of science.
No. I don't go to
Okay.
university.
Oh, you went to art school.
So you're telling me a laborer's inferior to an entrepreneur? Is that what
No,
you're
no,
saying?
no, it's fine. It's fine.
He's
Remember,
an idiot. He's an idiot.
remember, Wes doesn't know science to he doesn't even know how a light works on the object with literal demonstration. So, Wesley, you want to test on science and physics.
I don't want to test on Oakley science.
What's the difference between acceleration and velocity?
You're asking me?
Yes.
Acceleration is velocity. The integral or no, it's the derivative of velocity.
No.
No, it's not.
No. What's the derivative?
You don't know what a derivative is?
I'm asking you, what is a derivative?
So acceleration is is distance per time squared. Velocity is distance per time.
Okay, that's better, but it's not a derivative. Okay.
That's what calculus is, Flats. That's how you go from acceleration.
Velocity is not calculus. You use velocity in calculus. Velocity itself is not calculus.
Yeah, but to get from velocity to
So there we
accelerate-
go. Okay, so let's move over to more. Do you require force for things to accelerate?
Yes.
Okay, is your gravity a force?
Yes.
No, it's not. Hasn't been seen as a force for 110 years thanks to Einstein and
That's
general
why it's
relativity.
gravitation. It is a force. It's a
It's
apparent
not a
force.
force. Gravity is not a force.
It is a-
You just lost physics. Well done.
Law of gravitation. What are you
No,
talking
Luca,
about?
no, Luca, stay out of this.
Hey, Luca,
Wes can hold his
Luca,
own,
yeah,
own
Luca.
diaper.
It
Luca.
creates
Hey,
a force.
Luca, just be quiet for a couple minutes because Flats thinks he's smarter than me at science.
I'm much smarter than you.
And well, Wesley, I
Oh,
would
you're
like
not.
to congratulate. Hey, Wesley,
wait,
I
no,
want to-
Shh,
Wesley,
hold
I
on.
want-
Be quiet. Be quiet.
I
I'm
wanna
talking to Flats right
congratulate
now.
you.
I'd like
No,
to
Derek.
congratulate you on your blooming arrogance.
Okay,
No,
so Wes,
Wesley,
so
No,
Wes,
hold on a second.
so Wes,
Hold on a second.
So
the
Wes,
Flats,
what's the
mainstream
difference?
world. The
Flats, you said I was
mainstream world
smarter
has
than you.
turned away
so
from
Wes,
gravity as a
we're-
force, but you're kind of
Flats, you just
confusing
admitted I
here.
was
This is the
smarter
thing.
than you.
No, I didn't. That shows you guy doesn't even know how to listen. I told you you're as dumb as fuck. Okay, so now tell me again.
So you're
How is
smarter than me at
gravity a
science.
force? How
You're
is
smarter
gravity
than-
a force if Einsteinian general relativity literally says it's not?
When you're traveling at relativistic speeds, it's time and space. It's
Relative
not
to what?
to each other, to its velocity.
No, relativity requires a reference of something. Relative to what?
Relativistic speeds. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say relativistic?
Relative to what reference?
Stationary.
Okay, so then it is not a force.
Wait, you're talking about relativity, and then you went back to gravity and force. Stay on one
We're
topic.
talking about gravity. General relativity is gravity.
General relativity is gravity. Okay, there you guys heard it all.
But it's not considered a force.
Do you
But
think
it's not considered a force, Wes.
it is? It's an apparent
No, it's
force.
not.
General relativity is not considered a force, Wes. It superseded
General
Newtonian gravity
relativity is
110
not-
years ago.
You just said general relativity is not considered a force.
It's
It's
not.
not.
Yes, I agree. General relativity is not a force.
Which is gravity, Wes.
No, it's not.
You can't keep saying that it's not a force and then saying it is a force. You can't do that, dude.
General relativity isn't gravity. How do you guys not
Oh,
get
really?
this?
You just said it is.
Okay.
General, no, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
Flatso, do you think you're smarter than me at physics?
Much smarter than you.
And
Okay.
you're not.
How come
dumb,
you don't know
Wesley.
how come you don't know calculus then?
There we go. General relativity developed by Albert Einstein fundamentally defines gravity as a geometric property of spacetime rather than a force.
Right.
Okay.
So general relativity is not gravity.
Literally says redefines gravity
Yes, it redefines.
as a geometric property of spacetime rather than a force. So is general relativity talking about gravity?
Is
or
it
not?
talking about or is it? Which be
Is
specific.
gravity?
No,
it
it's not.
redefines. What does redefine mean?
It's our current
No, Luca, can you
understanding
guys keep quiet? Okay,
of
Wes,
the
Wes.
theory of
Hey,
gravity.
What
can
does
it just be
redefine
between
mean?
you and me?
What does redefine mean, Wes?
It redefines gravity as a geometric property of
Ah,
space.
so what was Newtonian gravity, Wes?
It was not at relativistic speeds.
It was a force, correct?
Yes, and it.
Okay,
these,
and then Einstein came and redefined gravity as not a force.
it didn't
correct?
say that. No.
Literally, it's on here.
Where does it say it's not a force? Show me.
Redefines gravity as a geometric property of spacetime rather than a
Where does it-
force.
Where did?
Literally on screen.
So it's an apparent force then.
It says nothing about apparent force. It says not a force.
So ask it.
I'm going to ask you again. I'm going to ask you again. Do you require a force to have acceleration?
Yes,
So F equals ma is true.
of course.
Is Einstein wrong?
No,
So which one is it? Gravity is a force or gravity is not a force?
gravity
That's
is
the
a force.
difficult part, Wes.
So then
Hey,
how is
dude,
Einstein
there's no
not
way
wrong?
around it.
Einstein literally says gravity is not a force.
So in Einsteinian has to do with relativistic speeds. When you're not at high percentages of the speed of light, then it goes back to Newtonian. It simplifies down to Newtonian.
So
How many times
hypocritical
has it-
then. It
how
can't be one or the other. It can't be both. It
Why
can only
can't
be
it?
one or
Wait,
the
why
other.
can't it? Why can't it?
Because you can't be a force and not a force at the same time. That's an oxymoron. It's a contradiction.
It's an apparent force.
There is
It's
no
not
such
really
thing
scientific when you
as
have
gravity,
conflicting
Wes.
results.
You
There
say
is no
that,
such thing as
but
gravity.
you have no clue about physics. What holds stuff to the ground then? What holds stuff to the ground, Falatoid?
Who says they need to be
Nothing
held?
holds
I mean,
anything
what
to the
type of
ground.
environment
You
Okay,
see,
why
the
are we on the
problem
ground?
is wait, Wes.
nothing
The problem.
holds- No,
the
this is
problem
really
is-
interesting.
The
Nothing holds
problem
things
is,
to the ground.
Wes, you have to shut up, man. The problem is
No,
you have a belief system.
I'm
Problem is you have a belief system of a
No.
spinning ball that requires you to hold you to the ground because otherwise the centrifugal
it's
force will throw
reality.
you off of Earth.
reality.
Correct?
Reality.
If you had gravity, if you didn't have gravity, would the centrifugal forces throw you off of your spinning Earth?
If we were spinning without gravity, sure.
There we go. So what do you
See-
need to keep you on the spinning space bear?
There's
Gravity.
nothing in reality that
Hey,
tells me
what
I'm
keeps your-
spinning
what keeps
throughout
your
the
sun-
cosmos.
What keeps your sun circling in the sky?
It's probably moving around in the waters above. It doesn't
It's
matter. It
probably
doesn't matter.
moving around it. So magic's your answer.
It has
No,
a
no, no,
certain-
no. Who
Magic.
says it's
Call
a
it magic
physical
if you
object?
want.
Wait. Are you claiming the sun is a physical rock?
What is it then, Flatzoid?
I don't know. God just tells me it's a light.
Yeah,
Maybe
magic,
something for
magic.
you to
You
ponder.
see, that's the
Magic.
difference. Where's that's the difference.
Magic.
You got a positive claim on what the sun is, where it
No, you
is,
do.
and what it does, and
You
what
do.
it's made out of. I don't
You
have a
do.
positive. I'm just showing you that it
No,
doesn't
you
exist.
don't.
I
You
don't
said
need
it's
to
not
replace.
physical.
I don't need to. It's. You haven't proven
You
it
said
is
it's not
physical.
physical.
You haven't
I know,
proven
but
it
your
is
claim is.
physical.
Yeah, you haven't proven it's not.
I have. You can't
How?
have. You can't have the sun in a place that violates natural law.
See, you're the only one that says that, and you have no physics.
The second law of
education or experience.
thermodynamics says you're wrong.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does. What does the second law of thermodynamics say? Wes?
Talk to anybody that studied the second law of thermodynamics and apply to what you say.
What does the
Nobody
second law
will
of
say that.
thermodynamics state?
It's about entropy.
What does it state?
How did you establish entropy?
Why
What
do you
type of
keep white
environment
knighting?
was that?
Wait, Derek, wait, man.
Yeah,
What
Derek,
does the
shut up
second
for
law?
the third time.
What does it? Wes? Hey, you don't have to be rude to him. What does the second law of thermodynamics state, Wes?
Well, you just called me an idiot.
What does it state, Wes?
So hypocritical. I don't know exactly what it states, but it's about entropy.
So you're not as smart as you think you are, do you?
I have to know word for word what the second law states. I didn't know
What
that
does it
was part of
state? In your own
intelligence.
words, what does it state?
It's about the things tend toward entropy in a closed system.
No.
Okay, what does it say, Flats? Tell me that what I just said is wrong for what the second law says.
The universe and the entropy will always tend to an increased state.
So I said it always tends to more entropy. What's
In the
difference?
universe.
Okay, great. So what's your point?
Okay. So what happens in a closed system to entropy?
It will always increase.
Until?
I don't know what until. Entropy always increases. What are you talking about until?
So entropy can't reach equilibrium.
I don't know about that particularly.
See, so I'm making a point. You don't even know what about the subject you're talking about. You claim I'm dumb.
We never
So-
talked about entropy.
So what's the difference between an open, closed, and isolated system in thermodynamics?
There are no closed systems except for the universe.
Okay, I asked you, what are the differences between open, closed, and isolated systems in thermodynamics?
So open is where you have interactions between systems. Closed is where you have none.
No, an open system, you are able to have mass and energy transfer through its
Transfer?
boundaries.
Did I not say transfer? Are you that dumb? Are you that dumb?
Closed, you didn't say this. Closed system
I have to
only
say
has
it. You guys hear this? He's
okay,
so
let's go.
indoctrinated.
What
so
transfer?
indoctrinated
What
into his
transfer do you
worst
have? What
value.
transfer do you have through a closed system?
You have none.
False. You have energy transfer. What transfer do you have through an isolated system?
Show me where it says energy can go through a closed system.
What?
You
what
can't answer it.
transfer do you? I do. What
Show me.
transfer do you have through an isolated system?
Show
Wes?
me.
I'm going
Show
to
me.
show you now. I'm just waiting for you to answer quickly.
No, show me.
I'm making my point how dumb you are.
No, you've already made that point how dumb you are when you don't know what a terminator line
Okay.
is.
I said there is no terminator line because I don't believe in the moon as a solid object. So,
It doesn't. I don't care
okay.
what you believe. Nobody cares what you believe.
thermodynamic systems.
Hey, when you Google that, will you Google what the second law has to say about Earth?
I already know what the second law says.
no,
Literally,
no,
why I
say-
have to reach you. Okay, there we go. Can you see this on screen?
yeah. Do you agree that this is a good source?
It's the same source as anything. I can bring up MIT if you want.
Yeah, and then
Doesn't really matter.
then ask them what the shape of the Earth is, please.
I don't care what they
Hypocrite.
say about the shape. We're talking about
Hypocrite.
thermodynamics. So,
Hypocrite.
isolated system.
Hypocrite.
That's supposed to be the universe. Can you tell me
Hypocrite.
what, based
You're
on this
indoctrinated.
description?
You're indoctrinated,
Wes,
so you're a
Wes, why
hypocrite.
don't you just own up to being dumb?
You're a hypocrite.
Okay, so
you
Wes,
trust the source
on screen,
until it argues against you.
let's see if you can actually read. On screen, what does the isolated system say?
Go ahead, read it. I want to see if you can read.
I'm asking
know you
you
can
to
scrape
see if you can read.
But I want to see if you can read.
I literally told you it out before even bringing it up. So I'm
I
asking
want
you
to
now.
see if you can read and just not.
What does
scrape-
isolated system say? Yeah, you maybe don't understand the
There's
description.
no
can't read.
exchange of energy.
You can't
There's
read.
no exchange
Man,
of
this guy
matter,
can't
and
shut
it's
up.
isolated
This Derek
system.
guy can't shut up, can he?
Huh?
Even though you asked him to.
Derek's hardly spoke, bro. He's hardly spoke.
Oh, he's interrupted me at least 5 times.
And
No,
you interrupt
you sh-
everybody every time.
No, I'm talking with
Yes,
flat.
you do. But
Wes,
you
you
do.
don't shut up, Wes.
Stop being triggered, PJ. It's okay.
I don't.
No,
you
the only
do
one-
trigger me. You
Two
really do
adults are
trigger me,
talking.
bro. You really do
So-
trigger me because you're an
So,
ass.
so Flatzoid, Google what am I
I don't need to
confused
Google
about?
anything. I'm asking
You
you
just
on
did.
screen
You just
now.
did. You
On
just did it.
screen, I literally brought it up for you.
Yeah,
so
you Googled it.
I don't need to Google it because I damn know this out of my head. Now I'm asking you again.
No, you
what
think
does
that
the
it means that
isolated
space can't
what does
exist.
what does the isolated system say, Anya?
I'm asking if you can read. Go ahead.
What does the isolated system say? I want to see if you can read very, very simple diagrams. What does the isolated system say, Anya?
You can't read that?
What does the isolated system say, Anya? Wes?
I'm not going to read it for you. If you can't read it,
Because
that's
you
fine.
don't know. You've
I
just
do.
proven you can't read a diagram.
I do.
Well, what does it say?
You can't read that?
I said it before I even brought it up for you. That's how dumb
Okay.
you are. You don't even know. So,
Okay, so-
again,
so
what
what
does
type
it
is-
say
what
on
type-
screen?
I can agree with this system here. What does that say? Which one of these is the Earth?
None of them.
None. All 3 of these. So then, how does entropy apply?
Because this is just a system. I'm asking you,
So which Earth?
which
Which system is the
system
Earth?
here
Which system is the Earth?
closed?
Okay,
So I'm asking again.
that's actually
What?
false.
No, Earth is definitely closed because we have gas pressure to
Hey,
breathe.
Flats. Then where do meteorites come from?
There's no such thing as meteorites. Now go on.
Show me a
I want you
meteorite.
to please. I want you to please
You haven't
show
seen a
me.
meteorite? You've never
I
seen a
want you to-
meteorite.
I've never seen one proven as
I'm
a
not
meteorite.
talking to you, dude. For the 7th
Okay,
time.
Wes,
Shut
have you
up.
noticed you still haven't answered me? I've asked you to read out on screen what isolated
shut up.
system says there based on this diagram.
Isolated, no exchange.
Of what?
I'm not reading it for you. This is not. This
So
is
you
not.
can't read a diagram.
Yes, I just said no transfer
Okay.
Correct.
Transfer of what?
of either of the items listed there.
What is the items listed there?
I'm not going to read this. This is not. You're
What
not gonna
is the items listed there, Wes?
No.
So you too dumb you can't read. Okay.
No,
Guys,
you
we
can't.
just
You
showed
can't.
Wes is just Dunning-Kruger and he has no idea what
You
he
don't
talks
even know
about.
what that means. You keep saying you're Dunning-Kruger.
What's
you don't even know
energy?
what that means.
Oh,
what
you
is
know what Dunning-Kruger is?
Yeah, what is
You very-
Dunning-Kruger?
You have
Go
a
ahead.
very Are you finished?
Yeah, I stopped talking.
Okay. You're Dunning-Kruger because you're overconfident in your own stupidity.
You think
There
that's
we
what
go.
Dunning-Kruger means?
That's literally what Dunning-Kruger means.
No.
Yes.
Have you ever seen the Dunning-Kruger?
Must I bring
graph?
the definition up for you?
Yes. Bring up what Dunning.
Wait, we'll do that
that
now. But I
would
first
be
want you to
top
read this diagram out for everyone. Then I'll do it.
I'm not going to do what you say.
Read it. Come.
Okay, if I do this, will
Can I
you
read
Google
it?
what shape the Earth is?
I don't need to
Why
because I know
would-
what's the shape of
what?
the Earth.
Okay, so you won't do it. I'm not doing it. It's easy.
Oh,
I
you
can play the
Google
same
the
game
shape of the
too.
Earth, therefore you know.
Okay.
He just Googled what closed system is. Why do you trust that?
No, I
then?
didn't Google it. I gave it up for you so you can see what it is. Okay, so read what's on screen quickly, Wes.
Do you see what it says? The Dunning-Kruger effect. Why don't you just look up what Dunning-Kruger
Read
is?
it. Read it.
No, it says the Dunning-Kruger effect. I want to know what the
The
definition
Dunning-Kruger
of-
effect is the Dunning-Kruger, you moron.
No, nobody ever
You're
uses that
so
phrase.
dumb. You're literally validating my point. So you don't even know the difference between Dunning-Kruger and Dunning-Kruger.
It says the Dunning-Kruger effect. Can you not read?
Is the Dunning-Kruger.
No.
You
wrong.
are a Dunning-Kruger.
That doesn't make any
Your
sense.
effect is showing.
That see how you
Anyway,
change the words?
it's a cognitive bias where people, should do it this way,
yeah,
with
no
the low
east and
ability
west, right?
to special area tend to overestimate their competence and knowledge in
That
the
is a
area, while
perfect-
those with high ability tend to underestimate their skills. Oh
Yeah, high
boy.
ability.
So
I'm in a
again,
science-
did you
I'm
claim
in-
to me that you are smarter than me? You know
Yes,
science and
100
physics,
times.
yet
100
you do
times.
know nothing about thermodynamics. You don't even know what gravity is in the first instance.
Hey, ask
And I have
somebody
to
that studied
literally
for-
wipe your ass with your
Why
own
would you-
words.
That's
So let's go
disgusting,
back.
dude. Wow,
So
you're
let's
sick
go
human
back.
being.
So let's go back to this diagram that you can't even read. Since isolated is too difficult to you, what is closed system?
Hey, Flats, do you know what east and west is?
Yes.
How come you messed it up 2 times on your video and then took them down?
Where's I'm asking you?
Huh? How
Closed
come?
system.
How
Closed
come?
system. Why are you trying to obfuscate from the closed system? Can you read what closed system says?
Yeah, why did you put out 2 videos
What does closed
doubling
system
down on
say?
east and
Where's
We're
west?
getting
what
desperate.
does closed system say?
Still can't shut up.
A
Still can't
closed
shut up.
system.
I'm waiting for you to tell me. What does closed system say?
I can read it.
So what did it say?
I read it in my head.
But so nobody else can be part of the conversation at all. You know what I mean?
That's
So
what
Derek
Flat said.
actually
You're
shuts
right,
off.
PJ. You're right, PJ.
Sure,
That's
I'm
what
sure
Flat
Derek
said.
can put in his tuppence if he wanted to, do you know what I mean?
Dude, stay
The
in the
conversation.
Okay, you know what?
No.
Luca,
Stay in
you
the
know what?
kitty end.
Luca,
Stay in the kitty
would you
end, PJ.
please
You'll be
would
all
you
right.
please
Sure. See
Luke-
what I mean? You're such a child.
Stay in the kitty
Luke-
end.
Child.
Yeah,
okay, wait,
okay.
Luca, I have such
You're a
confidence in
villain,
you
man.
that I know you'll
would
even
go
wipe
when you
Wesley around the
yes,
floor.
Trust me.
Oh, it's so funny when you
Yes.
I'm
trigger.
telling you.
Luca,
I would.
So Luca, would you be able to read on
triggered.
screen quickly, because Wes definitely can't read. So can you explain to him what this diagram says, please?
I'll read it. Okay, so an isolated system doesn't let energy or matter inside.
right.
And a closed system lets energy in and out, but doesn't let
Correct
matter
again.
in. And an open system lets energy and matter out, and
Yeah, that's brilliant.
matter can escape.
Well
and go
done. Thank you,
into.
Luca. You just did the impossible that Wes couldn't get in, what? I think 10 minutes long.
And it took you 2 videos to determine east from west.
No, naughty elephant
Yeah.
splashes water. There we go. East and west. The sun always rises in the east and sets in the west. Okay. So
How come
now
you
I'm
got
going to
that
ask you
wrong?
again,
How
Wesley.
come you got that
Wes, I'm
wrong
going to
twice?
ask you again. So I'm going to ask you again. Now that Luca explained it to you, which kind of system does Earth fall under?
So on this one, exchange of energy, it is a open system.
No.
But then how?
Okay, wait. Why do you say that then?
Because
No, I'm not
It
talking
is
to
an
you,
open
Flats. I'm
system.
talking to the guy
Earth's
that
not
keeps
an.
interrupting.
No. Well, I thought we were having this conversation.
Okay, then why do you let him talk?
Because he says exactly the same I was going to say.
Okay,
Earth
then let me
can't
talk
be an
to him.
open system.
Okay, then why
I'll be
isn't it?
quiet. Okay.
Oh,
Earth can't
for
be an
this
open
time?
system. Wes?
Yeah, go
Do you
ahead.
know
Tell me why.
even your globe model claims Earth's a closed system?
It depends what you're talking about.
No, it doesn't depend. That's actually what the mainstream science
See, you can't shut up.
personnel are.
I'm going to be quiet, and then the next sentence he's got to jump in. Okay, so why do you think you don't? We can never leave the Earth. Well, why you just quote? Well, ask him what the shape of the Earth is then.
We
Well,
don't
if
need
you
to ask
find
him
out
what
the
the Earth-
source- You trust the source, right?
So we're asking you. So
Wait,
is
wait,
Earth
wait.
open or
Get rid of
closed?
that idiot in the private
It shows
chat.
your hypocrisy. You trust him as a source until he tells you something that you don't like, right? That's your
Is
your
Earth an open or closed system?
Earth is. It depends what you're talking about.
Well, it's treated as a closed system.
Sometimes it is, but it's not a closed system.
Like 99%. Yeah.
Yeah, 99%, but we still have matter that
that's
comes in.
a large percent.
We still have matter that comes in and goes out. So what's your point?
Well, yeah, like meteorites, for example. I mean, I can't actually determine those are actually things that came from quote unquote space. Can you verify that?
Wait, say that one more time.
Like meteorites. Can you verify they came from a foreign area outside of Earth?
Yeah,
can't.
because they don't have the same elements that we have on Earth in the same quantities.
How do you know that?
Through science and chemical study.
Or believing what somebody else said. I mean, you didn't do the test yourself.
So I have to do the test myself? Is that your standard of
Well,
evidence?
I mean, otherwise you're still depending on what somebody else.
Okay, then
says.
how do you know your computer doesn't give you cancer?
Well, a lot of things.
This is
can give
exposing the
cancer, but
hypocrisy.
Cancer is not as cancer is not a disease; it's a defense mechanism.
I didn't ask that. I asked you why do you
no.
believe that your computer doesn't give you cancer?
Well,
You can't answer it because it's hypocritical. You'll turn out to be a hypocrite. I don't think you are trying to be, but that's what you guys are
cancer
doing when you
itself,
trust us.
it contains toxins in your system.
I'm not
Your
asking
body
you about.
can't
I'm
eliminate
not
by
asking
itself.
you about what cancer is. I'm saying, why do you trust that your computer isn't giving you cancer right now?
Well,
Have you tested if it's
a
giving you
false
cancer?
premise, what you're
Right.
postulating.
Have
Right,
you
he
tested
hasn't
that it gives you cancer?
Nope, he hasn't.
So then how can you make a premise that it doesn't give you cancer?
That's what I'm saying. Why do you use a computer if it might give you cancer?
How are you coming to the conclusion it gives you cancer if you haven't tested if it does give you cancer or not?
Exactly my point.
That's not science, Wes.
That's exactly my point. Why do you trust
You
things
making
that
a
there's
claim
no
the
proof of?
computer can give you
No, I didn't. When did I make
cancer.
that claim? When did I give you that
You
claim?
just said, why are you guys using a computer if it can give you cancer?
I didn't say that at all. You can't listen to my
Derek,
words.
was that your argument or was that Wes's argument?
No, I said, why do you trust that the computer isn't giving you
Wes,
cancer?
are you so retarded you don't even know your own words coming out your mouth?
You can't hear what I'm saying?
I
Should
literally
speak
kept
clearly?
quiet and listened to that retarded statement.
Okay, I'm saying, why do you trust that your
So
computer
I got
isn't
on
giving you
screen
cancer?
a video for you, okay? Wes, I would
So
love it
you're
if you
gonna-
can actually
you're
sit and
deflecting.
listen and
You're
learn
deflecting.
and
You're
learn why your Earth cannot
Wait.
be an open system, okay?
Keith,
So I
why?
want you to
Why are
pay
you
attention
deflecting?
now.
If you're
Because this is
deflecting, I'm
going
out.
to.
If you're
There's no
deflecting, I'm out.
deflecting. This is teaching you that your Earth cannot be an
No.
open system. So
No,
please
no,
pay
no.
attention. There we go.
No, I'm out. I showed your hypocrisy. You don't know
What
east from west.
hypocrisy? You haven't
No,
shown
you
anything
didn't.
other than being
Yeah,
dumb.
your sources. Your sources. You trust sources up until they say what they are, what you don't like to hear.
I 100% agree with MIT. 100% agree with all physics when it comes to thermodynamics and natural law.
So none of them
I
say
do
that
not.
space
I
can-
do not agree.
Hold on
I
a
do not
second.
agree with
Hold on a second.
pseudoscientific belief
Hold on a second.
systems.
Natural law.
Hold on a second.
I do not. I do not
Hold on a second.
agree.
Hold on
I
a
do
second.
not agree with. Can you shut up? I do not agree
No.
with pseudoscientific belief systems that go against the natural law. Hence,
Okay, can
your
you show
gravity.
me?
PSD Tony sucks. Yes, I've had him on. He doesn't even know half the things he's talking. He's also one of those guys that, how can I say,
Why are you
uses his
deflecting?
PhD to be so smart, yet he's not as smart as he claims to be.
Can you
So
show me
again,
a site- can
listen,
you show me- can you
listen,
show me a
and PhD
citation?
Tony has nothing to do with
Are you
this
running
discussion.
away?
So
I'm not
I
talking
want
about
you to
PhD.
listen to what I got on screen,
Listen,
Wes,
listen to me.
and then
I'm
you
not
can
talking about-
rebut it, because this
Well,
is
no,
the
then I'm
subject.
out
We
because
literally
you're
go on.
hypocrisy. I can't stand.
There's no
somebody who's
hypocrisy. The only hypocrisy is you running away, coward.
No,
So
then,
you're gonna
here's the question.
listen.
Here's the
So
question.
There we go.
the pressurized
Yeah.
atmosphere is
Okay,
kept there by
hypocrite.
gravity, as
Yeah.
I said multiple times. So
Hi, I'm Emerald Robinson, and in this What Is video, we're going to investigate the state of matter called a gas. Gases are materials that have no definite volume and no specific shape.
your whole idea of, Mark has no answer. I do have an answer. Sphere is kept there by gravity.
Third, gases can flow from one area to another, although the direction of flow is not directly affected by gravity.
Sphere is kept there by gravity.
Although the direction of flow is not directly affected by gravity. Although the direction of flow is not directly affected by gravity.
So if the Earth had a container, as you claimed, you made a claim there that the Earth has a container over it. What ought to happen, according to the second laws of thermodynamics, is that the air should equalize to become the same pressure, like in an aeroplane or like in any other container.
Molecules in a gas collide with one another and move more quickly or more slowly based on factors like temperature and pressure.
It would not have a pressure gradient going up from high pressure at the bottom to low pressure at the top.
Good times for all. Exactly, Zabala here if you prefer. What we have is a bucket of ice water. Okay, so, and that hose is coming out right here and it runs up to this pressure reading gauge right here.
Yeah,
Okay,
where's
as
the
you
lead
can
ran, by the way,
see,
guys?
Is right at about 3. And this one is right at about, it's under 2.5. Almost a 2. What I've done is I've taken this heating gun up to 800 degrees,
Hypocrite yourself.
and then we have the bucket of ice water at the bottom,
Zero
and
more.
I'm
Needs to be
changing the temperature, hopefully.
Let me just pause this quickly. Yeah, let's just put it this way. Literally, Wesley came in all high horse. He's so smart, everybody else in here is so dumb. He's definitely smarter. Yet, everything I brought up, he did not know. Yet, he couldn't even read a damn description on screen. What does that tell you about him?
Yeah, he's a hypocrite. He won't shut up do you know what I mean? He tells everybody else to shut up and he won't shut up himself. Can't get a word in edgeways. I mean, Derek was only trying to put his tuppence in, his 2 penny worth, and it was in between when he was talking. He was just talking that much that there was rarely a gap for Derek to get that word in. You know what I mean? So he had to take any chance he could.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But yeah, the point is Wesley is literally the epitome of Dunning-Kruger. Point and click made. When he says, bring up the definition, I bring it up, and he says that's Dunning-Kruger effect. Well, that's literally what Dunning-Kruger is. It's very sad because this is the same guy that claims to be so smart, yet he doesn't actually know anything at all. I'm actually surprised he knows how to use a fork without sticking his own eye out.
It's the same thing with Phil Bell. Like the man's not dumb, but he's just so caught up in...
Well, let's put it this way. He literally tried to work out how fast pumice stone sinks. Yeah. He once told me and pointed to the sky and said, you see that black part? That's gravity.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Insane. But yeah, let's quickly listen to this further. Maybe Wes might actually learn something.
I might not. Well, gravity doesn't. Gravity doesn't steer each individual molecule of gas.
What?
It doesn't
What?
Again?
So some molecules escape gravity.
So I'm actually going to disagree with what she said. That girl.
Who's that?
Gravity isn't. What did she say?
Directly affected by gravity. Gas is not directly affected by gravity, the direction of gas. No, it's not.
Yeah, that statement.
It's not directly affected by gravity.
Yeah, that statement is off mark.
Well,
Thank you for your £2.
Gravity, so there is no such thing as gravity. Sorry.
Thank you for your £2 super chat. The masked cheek, really appreciate it. Yes, you can ask your question, man. You just sent a super chat, so obviously you can ask. You could have asked it in the super chat, by the way. But let's watch the video while we wait for his question. So we can get, it's almost finished, this video. 4 minutes to go.
At both ends.
And this is where you have absolutely proven
So listen
yourself
up, Wes.
wrong. Because if there was a physical container there, the air would equalize and all become the same pressure. But we know that going up a mountain, the air becomes thinner.
Everybody knows that it's colder up in the mountains than it is down below, and the difference can be quite substantial. Now, to understand why this change...
I didn't catch pink eye, just to let you know. I did exercise, and I exercised a bit too heavy, and I seemed to burst a vein in my eye, and then it got infected. Much better now, though. Thank you very much. Okay, well, Bev is here, hey, but before you talk, let's just finish this video, please.
...in temperature happens, we need to understand a little bit about gases.
In order to study the relationship between pressure and temperature, we will heat up a gas which is enclosed in a tight container. While we are heating the gas in the container using a burner, we can see that with the increase in temperature, the pressure of the gas also increases. And when we cool the enclosed gas, we can observe an obvious decrease in its pressure.
Now, when gases are compressed, they heat up. And when gases expand, they cool down. When the gas is compressed, it's going into high pressure and getting hot. And when it's being expanded, it's going into low pressure and getting cold. So the gas starts out at a certain temperature, and as it goes up to low pressure, it's being expanded and getting colder.
it becomes less pressurized. People have to take oxygen up Everest.
It's 2 cylinders. It contains all the regulators, the delivery mechanism, and the face mask.
You are absolutely wrong. And you've just shown that by claiming that there is a container around the Earth.
Let's just take a gas in some volume.
Container around the Earth. It's over the Earth.
Vacuum of equal volume, and we're going to remove the barrier. You know what's going to happen spontaneously, right? The gas is going to fill the available volume once it becomes available, right? You know what's going to happen spontaneously, right? The gas is going to fill the available volume once it becomes available, and we're going to remove the barrier. The gas is going to fill the available volume. Take a gas, and over here is going to be vacuum, and we're going to remove the barrier.
Why is it so hard
You
for
know
them
what's
to
going to happen
understand?
spontaneously, right? The gas is going to fill the available volume.
Because if that was there, all of the air would equal. Excuse me, would equalize. Now, this is the same thing you're claiming, where the air should go out to space. It should equalize, yes, but gravity is holding it down.
Although the direction of flow is not directly affected by gravity,
One of these bulbs, some bromine.
Change of entropy.
And in the other, I have a vacuum. And if I open the tap between these two, you will see spontaneously the bromine rush from one to the other. Now that is the simplest change we can have, perhaps, because all that happens is a change in entropy. In this case, the expansion into a vacuum, nothing else is involved. There's no energy change, there's no temperature change, there's no change except entropy.
Full free expansion of gas. Anyway, hey Solve, hey Bev, good to see you guys.
I was just going to show you, see this right behind me? See that blue right there? See the blue and then that black? That's a picture of gravity.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what Phil Bolt told us, remember?
There's a picture of gravity right behind you. Oh, okay. Right on, brother.
Right. That's right.
Anyway, did you listen the Wes, the Dunning-Kruger is?
What's that now?
Did you listen, Wes, when he was on the Dunning-Kruger that is? Coming in here, being all high and mighty, saying how dumb I am. He knows more than me. He couldn't even cite the second law of thermodynamics. He couldn't read a diagram about the thermodynamic systems. He doesn't know the difference between Newtonian and general relativity. He says general relativity is not gravity. Yeah, it's insane. The guy's literally as dumb as they can come.
Well, the whole relativity thing came about because somebody asked the same question I did. Is mass attracts mass. Why? Why? What are the mechanics involved, and how does that not violate conservation of energy? If energy cannot be created or destroyed, what is the object using to create the force of gravity with? And why does it never run out? That's not possible.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me grab my coffee real quick.
And in Wesley's defense, a little bit, okay, he's not stupid. He's not at all. It's something about ego, I think.
It's the cognitive dissonance.
He's spent so much time learning all these things about the globe and math.
He's definitely stupid, far from it.
But that's why I disagree with you, though. But that's why I disagree with you. Yeah, the reason I do call him stupid is because he is.
That's the end result. But that's not.
I mean, I've seen him debate Roger as well, and Roger ripped him apart. I mean, every time Wesley goes anywhere to debate, he gets ripped apart. The guy is literally just like I said. He is the epitome of Dunning-Kruger.
It's because he has too much faith in what he's been taught by other people.
There's a lot of pride involved. A lot of pride.
Well, he's got the mental maturity of an adolescent as well. That's why that's reflective in his conversational skills.
Yeah, I did kind of see that.
I
got triggered by him, and he triggers me, and I admit it. Can't help it. He does. He
triggers. Oh, he triggered me as well. So everybody saw that. Sorry about that. He did just trigger me because he was being very demeaning against us, and he wouldn't just, how can I put it, accept when he's wrong.
No, it just keeps galloping more questions on top of the question.
Or he'll obstruct the already existing argument with something else.
Yeah. Tell you to shut up and never shut up himself.
It's quite crazy. Yeah. Anyway, Alderberry is also in, but Bev, do you have a question for anybody on the panel?
I have yeah. I've got a few. But the main one is where would you be if you were to observe the sun at zenith at 4 p.m.?
What location?
Yeah, that's the question. What location?
What day?
Wouldn't you have to assume the surface you're standing on first? I mean, you're not giving any real
what day?
parameters.
But the point is what day?
Where does this occur at?
Yeah.
Well, it was the other day is when I heard about this.
You have to give more information. Yeah, you have to give more information.
To check your mental acuity, right?
You're going to have to give more information.
No, that's the question. The question is, where would you be if at 4 p.m. the sun was at your zenith?
You'll be at its nadir. You'll be directly underneath it.
Okay. But you don't know where, a location. I don't want to.
You haven't given enough data.
How do you know the location when you haven't given the location?
You haven't given a day. You haven't given a time of year. You haven't given a month. You haven't given nothing. You just said, what location would you be 4 o'clock if it's on zenith?
Yeah,
above your head.
It's just where you imagine you'd be.
Yeah, there we go, Alderman.
Yeah, where? Where do you think? Where do you think you'd be
underneath
if the sun was at your zenith at 4 p.m.?
You wouldn't be anywhere on Earth.
You what?
You wouldn't be anywhere. It doesn't do that.
At some point, when you talk.
Where does it do that at? It doesn't do that.
At 4 p.m. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. At 4 p.m.
Exactly.
It's at noon. Only at noon is directly above. There we go. That's good thinking, Self. I wasn't thinking about that. Yeah, you said 4 p.m., correct?
Yes.
So then it won't be, yeah. It can only be at noon, right above.
Okay.
So I agree with Solve there. Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. I was more or less trying to think of, what time of year it is.
Yeah, noon is demarked by the zenith. That's, that's what we mark noon by, man.
It's very clever, that, Solve. Well done. Do you talk much about that sort of stuff within your circle?
What do you mean?
Well, like give each other those sort of challenges.
Well,
to test each other. What would you say to somebody who was trying to tell you that the sun was at their zenith at 4 p.m.?
I'll tell them to prove
their watch is wrong.
I tell them to prove it.
I would tell them their watch is broken.
What about if their shift ended at 4 p.m., say? Just as a...
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and they had photographic evidence.
Yeah.
They have photographic evidence. How do you capture time in a photograph?
You guys have this photographic evidence.
I heard it too.
I mean, there's all these what ifs, and Wesley likes to grab into these what ifs all the time, and it goes right back to what if a bullfrog had wings? He wouldn't bump his ass all the time, right? Well,
what do you actually know about the sun?
What do I know about the sun? I know that it's in the sky.
Yeah.
That it goes in a circuit. It gets closer and closer and further back and forth between the north and the south. Outside of that, we don't know anything about it.
Does it go from east to west?
How do you know? How do you know?
Does it go from east to west on the circuit?
Always, of course, always.
But aren't east and west?
How do you know it goes in a circuit?
Directions on the circuit.
It's always east to west.
The relative,
East,
Yeah, but aren't east and west opposite directions of the circle?
No.
they're clockwise and counterclockwise rotations over the surface of the Earth.
So how does it go from east to west? Is that when it goes from
Rises in the east and sets in
clockwise
west.
circles to anti-clockwise?
Well, if you were looking down at it, the sun would be coming from the right and going in a clockwise. You know, the clock was designed after the sun.
When do you look
get
down on it, on the
word
sun?
hour.
When?
Wait, you're doing a Wesley. You're doing a Wesley on me.
Yeah, but when do you actually do that? You look down upon the sun.
Okay, well, you're looking up at it. It's still going east to west, isn't it?
Clockwise or
Is
anti-clockwise?
there somewhere in the world that the sun rises in the west?
Nowhere.
Stov, you just said that east and west were clockwise and anti-clockwise.
That's correct.
So
They're
when
circles.
does the sun go from anti-clockwise to clockwise? When does that happen?
When you're standing under it or above it, looking at it, it depends on your
That's what
view.
I'm saying.
East to
When are
west.
you standing above
the sun? When's
It
that
goes-
happen?
Well, it
Yeah.
depends on your orientation. It'll still be going east to west.
Sounds like a globe, Sov.
It sounds
that-
like a globe. How does that sound like a globe? How do
Yeah.
circles?
Is that anti-clockwise or clockwise when you're standing above the
No,
sun?
it never goes. No, it depends on your orientation to it. If I'm standing on, listen to me.
I'm in the
If
center
I'm-
of the sun
Listen
circle,
to
normally.
me. If I'm standing on a roadway that is going north to south, okay? If I'm standing on
straight
the
line.
west side of that road, north is to my left. And a car going north will be going from my right to my left. Now, if I go stand on the other side of the road and observe the same car go by that is still going north, it's now going to go from my left to my right. It's about
But the sun is going in the same direction all the time.
all the time.
While you
all
talked
the
about
time.
that.
Always east to west.
Yeah. Have you ever seen it? Have you ever seen it? A 24-hour sun
No,
yourself?
no one has. Except in
So
the
how do
north.
you know it
The only
exists?
place anybody's ever seen it.
How do you know it exists?
What do you mean? How do I know it exists?
Well, you said it was a circuit, so how would you know it was a circuit if you hadn't actually seen it?
Are you
Okay.
suggesting-
It's just a
are you
belief of yours,
suggesting
just a
that the
belief.
sun physically lands someplace?
Can I ask a question? Does the sun move?
That's what I said. What do you know about it?
Does the sun move directly overhead of you at the equator?
I've never been to the equator, but I've heard it said so in a straight line from
There's
east to
reports
west.
of it being directly overhead at 4 p.m. as well.
Where?
Yeah, as well. I was in America, I
Yeah,
think.
somewhere.
What latitude?
Somewhere near Will Duffy's church. That's as far as I know.
Yeah, not far from maybe it was a
Roger
a
can
biblical thing
then can tell
at
us.
the time.
Roger, because he lives close to there. Have you ever
Yeah,
seen
where's
the sun
Roger?
at
Does
4
he know?
p.m. At 4 p.m. at zenith?
Yeah.
Roger, have you ever seen that? Ever?
I highly doubt it.
Is Roger about anywhere?
Yeah, he's in chat.
He's in the chat.
Oh, he's in the chat.
Telling
Oh,
everybody
come on,
to keep
Roger.
us out.
He's at work. I think he's working at this time. So he might be at work.
He's in Colorado, correct?
Colorado. Colorado. The other
Yes,
day.
Colorado. Okay.
So which way does the sun go in where you live, Flatside?
Always east to west.
Yeah, but is that an
okay.
east to
If
west
you're watching the sun,
anti-clockwise
if
or
you're
an
watching
east to west
Colorado
clockwise?
Colorado is 39.5 degrees north and 105.7 degrees west.
There you go. What about that? What about if you saw the sun there at 4 p.m. in the afternoon at your zenith?
It's
So
never
let me-
going to happen.
You never. It's not gonna happen.
Where are you getting this weirdness from? Where are you this 4 p.m. zenith shit? Where did that come from?
It's been observed.
Yeah.
It's
And
been
it's not a
observed
globe.
by
I'm
who?
told.
Somebody told me the other day. I think
Hey?
they might have been taking the piss, right? But I mean, you know, it might have
Maybe.
been
Maybe they
serious.
tried to do it so we get here and look silly. We don't want to look silly. Maybe that's what it was
There
for.
was no shadow under his car, even.
Okay, so
Really?
Colorado is way above the equator. Okay. Correct.
That might be why it needed to be 4
You're
p.m.
never going to see the sun directly
You're
above
never
you.
going to have it directly above you. That's the point.
The only place you're ever going to see it directly above you is between the tropics.
So when you're looking at the sun, Flatsoid, when you're looking at the sun, all right, and you put your arm out where it rises, and you follow it through the day,
only
which
one day
direction do
last
you
month.
turn in to follow the path of the sun?
What do you mean? It's always
When
east to west.
When you were on holiday on your roof of your little apartment there with you, and you were observing the sun for everybody,
yeah? I look southeast.
It rose somewhere in the sky, right?
Yeah, southeast, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And when it sets
in the west.
In which direction would you have to rotate to follow that sun's direction, the path of the sun?
It sets in the west, opposite.
No, I'm asking you, when you look at the sun.
If I'm looking directly east, like with the sun, how does it had to come up, and then I have to turn around, and it would set the opposite direction.
Oh, yeah. So you turn anti-clockwise.
I didn't turn any.
So you turned anti-clockwise. You just did it.
No,
you just did it.
I turned 180 degrees. I didn't turn clockwise.
Do it again. Do it again. Go on. Do it
Let's
again.
turn the other way. Ooh. Wait,
yeah, but what about the sun? The path of the... So are you on the equator?
No, I'm not directly on the equator.
So how does the sun go right above
just under
you,
the
then?
equator? It doesn't go directly above me.
Which direction do you
Not
look
even
at the sun?
4 o'clock. What about at 2 o'clock?
Okay, let me try and make it very clear for you.
But Flatsoid, Flatsoid, hang on, Flatsoid. You've never seen a 24-hour.
No.
No, you've only ever seen an arc of a sun.
Yeah.
What do you mean arc of the sun? The sun takes the same.
It rises somewhere and it sets somewhere
East
in an arc.
West.
In an arc.
Okay.
Well, we live in a three-dimensional world.
Okay, so which direction are you facing when you face the arc of the sun throughout your day?
East, west.
No, which way are you facing? Is it to
east, west?
Is it the south of?
It depends on what time of the year and where I am on the location.
For you.
Do you feel
where I am, where I am in the UK.
You're in Britain.
All right.
In the UK.
Where I am in the UK, I mean now it's more northeast.
You should sit southeastern.
No, I'm facing south. I face south when the sun takes its arc throughout the day.
Okay. But that,
all right, it goes to my left-hand side.
Aldo, so
it rises. It rises now. It's a bit further out. It's rising northeast.
Mm-hmm.
But still,
it's make us a longer arc.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Fascinating.
Because we're at that time of the year, it's getting nearly circular.
Do you know that arc is only an arc of vision?
Generally, the sun rises in the east, which is to my left, and I face the south, and the sun will arc across the sky and set in the west. But it's
Oh dear.
Sounds like he's cutting off.
Yeah, connection. Yeah, sounds like he's gone. He'll be back in a bit.
Yeah, so that arc is only an apparent arc. It's not really an arc.
An actual.
It's only your arc.
Yeah, it's not a physical one. Yeah.
You know, I wanted to give an actual how can I say? Let's place this on a kind of role play system. If you see a plane fly overhead, okay,
why can't you just do it with the sun? You did a video of it, man. You did a video of the sun.
No, wait, Aldabe. Directly look at the sun coming, and he's flying ahead of you. Okay, you would agree that
it doesn't. The plane.
Listen,
over my zenith.
Can you shut up for 2 seconds? I can talk.
No, he can't.
Okay,
shut. So, don't have to talk to you, Sob. You shut up.
So we see a plane directly in front of you come fly. So you can just lift your head and you can see it directly. You can turn around and you see it. Okay. Now the same plane, but someone else is, let's say, 100 kilometers that way. And they see, now it's coming still east to west, but they have to look at a northeasterly direction to see the sun come up, correct? So when they turn around, it seems to have set
You
in
said
a
an
southwesterly
aeroplane.
direction. It has an apparent arc. It hasn't an actual arc. So let's do another one where the other person standing 100 kilometers the other way and looking at the plane come this way.
I'm
So
only
now they are
asking you.
looking
I'm only
southeast.
asking you. You can't even
Now they're
tell me
looking
about your
southeast, and then
experience.
apparently when they see it, it will set northwest. Why?
What's
Because
your
it
experience, Flatside? That's the question.
This is my
Not some
experience. I'm
fictional
trying to
person
explain
with
to
an
you how the
aeroplane.
sun literally rises and sets and why it has an arc.
All right, so if I face north, the sun is behind me and I can't see the arc of the sun. Which direction do you face during the day where the sun would be behind you arcing and you wouldn't see the arc of the sun?
The sun always rises in the east and sets in the
No,
west.
I'm not
Okay?
asking you that.
It's relative to
Listen,
your
listen.
position.
Are you stupid?
Whether you see it,
Which
you get me
direction are
off.
you facing when the sun
East.
is behind you? You're facing east.
No. If the sun is behind me, I can be. It could be
I think I know
rising,
what
and I
he's
could be looking that way. It's behind
Jesus.
me.
I think I know what
Literally.
I think I know what he's asking. Do you have to look north in a northerly direction to see the sun, northeast to
Rise or
northwest?
set.
Okay,
Rise or
that's
set.
I guess what he's asking.
Yeah, but it has to
Everybody
be
that's north of the of the tropic, such as him and myself, always have to look in a southerly direction
Yes,
east,
there you go.
southerly direction west, which is
So
only further
yours.
proof of the sun's close circuit to the earth.
Okay, so
But
you're facing
that's what I
north then,
saw.
Flatside. You're
But
facing
that's
north, are
wait,
you?
wait, wait, wait. But that's what I saw when I was on holiday, seeing the sun set southwest.
You're facing north, and the sun rises on your right-hand side.
So I'm gonna quickly get the video of the setting sun quickly for you.
Have you
I should
got
still have-
like a 12-hour video of the sun as you see it?
No, I'm gonna show you the direction based on that observation.
12 hours and watch the sun.
Well, Sob said you were facing north when you see the sun.
Which incidentally has nothing to do with the shape of the earth. Even Duffy said that.
Well, I don't think you know what the shape of the earth is, do you?
Yeah, it's a level topographical plane contained within a dynamic fluid pressure system. What did you think it was?
Well, I didn't know that a plane could be topographical. That would be the
You
first
didn't know
point.
that? You didn't know that? Have you ever got a table?
Have you seen?
Do you have a kitchen table? Do you have a kitchen
the
table?
flat Earth kitchen table
Listen,
you're getting
that
out.
kitchen table would be considered a plane, right? And can you set things? It's not. It's not. What do they call a machine that takes and
A
makes
plane
wood
is a
flat?
geometric.
What do you call a machine that takes a board and makes it flat? It's called a planer, right? And another little handheld device.
What, a
you can use
3D
to make
tool?
wood flat
You call
is
the 3D tool so it makes the table a plane.
Okay, the tool has
Don't be a
nothing to do
joke.
with the plane that it's working
I told
upon.
you to sit down, Sov. God.
No, you
Don't
go
be
sit
such
down.
a
You don't
Don't
understand
be a
what
prick
Shut up,
like
PJ.
Wesley.
You sit down
No,
as
no,
well.
don't start being a prick like Wesley. Why can't you just be respectful? Why can't you talk and just be
I don't have any
respectful?
respect for you.
Well,
I don't
get
have
out
any
then.
respect for you.
Get out then.
No,
What are you doing
I've
there?
got
Get
here.
out.
I
Why
don't
are
have
you
to have
even
respect
here?
for you to ask
Yes.
you a question, do I?
Well, wait a second.
You need
You
to have
expect
respect
them
for
to have
someone's dream.
respect for you? You
You
think
don't
you're a
have to have
monkey
respect
on
for
a
me
spinning
either.
water ball, for
I
Christ's
can't. I'm
sake.
not.
You're the odd man out here.
No, I'm not demanding respect. When did I do that?
You just
Saying
did.
have respect
You
for
just
his
did now.
When?
No, like 2 seconds ago.
What do you mean? I said I don't have respect for you.
So,
Didn't demand you
what
have
makes
respect for
you-
me. Do what you
what is
want.
it- what did you think the Earth was? Are you one of these people that thinks you're a freaking monkey on a spinning water rocket ball hurling through a void? Do you know how ridiculous that is?
Okay.
Do you even understand how crazy you have to be?
You haven't even seen a circuit of the sun, and you tell me you know it is.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna quickly play it for you. Okay, this was the same place where I observed the sunrise. Now this is the sunset. Okay. You guys are lucky because I haven't made this video yet. I still wanted to make it. 185 degrees west.
What's that? Is that where the sun
That's
rises?
the setting sun. That's the setting sun. Directly west. 285 degrees west.
And which way do you face when it makes that arc from the east during the day?
Look. Directly facing.
No, I'm not asking you that. Are you stupid? I'm not asking you that, am I? I'm asking which direction you listen. When I follow the sun.
That is the direction I'm facing.
When I
Are you stupid?
You're facing west when it sets.
Are you stupid? That's literally
Where are you
285 degrees west. That's what I'm facing.
Okay. So where does it rise?
118
well, it
degrees.
clearly rose from the east. What are you talking about?
And the arc goes which way? From
There's
east
no
to
arc.
west on the north side, or east to west on the south side? For you.
I'm literally showing you on screen.
No, you're just showing me where the sun sets. You show me one point where the sun
let me
sets.
put it this way. It rose 118 degrees southeast and set 285 degrees west.
Okay, so it went in an arc in the north.
What arc?
Oh, Jesus, man. You what does the sun do for you in the day? Is it a straight line?
I explained it to you. It's not an actual arc.
Well, I thought you said it was a circuit. It's got to be part of. If it's a circuit, it's got to be an arc, hasn't it?
Laterally, there is an arc. Vertically is only an apparent arc due to your perspective. Does that put it into? Does that make sense to you?
So laterally are east and west circles.
There you go.
Right. So when the sun goes from east to west on these circles, does it change direction from going on the east circle, which is, I presume, clockwise, to the west circle, which is anti-clockwise, right? That's presumably that's the way it goes, right? So when the sun goes from east to west, is it going from clockwise to anti-clockwise on your lateral circle?
You see, they're trying to do a Jaren here, guys. They've hitched onto Jaren's idiotic idea.
No, you're hooked up with Jaren.
An argument, yes.
Let me tell you something. If you stand and face somewhere else, it would change which direction it comes from.
So when you see the sun,
if you face north, it can. If you face north, it can come from right to left. If you face south, it can come from left to right.
That's right.
Still,
when you see the sun,
to west.
When you see the sun, are you on inside of the circuit or the outside?
What do you mean, inside or outside?
Are you viewing that circuit of the sun from within the circle or outside of the circle?
How must I know? It's an apparent position where you see the sun. You don't see it as exactly.
But for you're turning anti-clockwise to follow its path during the day.
You can see by his compass that it wasn't at directly 270 degrees. It was canted to the north.
That's not what I'm asking.
So it was actually setting at west. Shut up while I'm talking.
Northwest,
It was setting west by northwest.
You already said it, Sov, and you said that for you, where you are, if you follow the path of the sun, you're facing south. It's
going to be south.
And you turn.
It's going to go west by southwest.
And you physically.
That's where it's going to set. It's going to rise north by northeast.
Right. So if you face that direction in the
or south by south.
Shut up! I'm talking.
South by southeast.
If you face.
Yeah. Well, you're not saying anything worth a fuck.
I know what you've got to say, Sov. I've watched you. Listen. When you face the sun in the morning, Sov. All right. Coming through the window in the east direction of your house, say, and you follow the path of that sun as it goes around your house, which direction?
South by southeast.
I'm asking about you.
To south by southwest.
Yes. So which direction are you?
South by southeast.
Shut up! I'm talking.
And south by southwest at the set.
Yeah, but you.
What do you not?
You are physically. You are physically turning clockwise.
Physically facing south by southeast when it rises.
You are physically turning clockwise to follow the path of the sun throughout the day.
Aldebury, I want to ask you a question. Would you require the sun to set in a southwesterly direction on your globe? or a
No,
northwesterly
I'm
direction?
not asking that, and you seem to be obfuscating and trying to run away from it. All of you
I'm
do.
asking you very simply because this shows
I'm not
against
talking to you,
the
mate. Hang
tone.
on, I was talking to Sov. Sov,
No,
when you
no, you
follow the
asked
path of
the
the
question
sun
was
during
to
the
me.
day, you
Wait.
will
This
turn
question was to me,
clockwise
Aldebaran. Why are you running
to
away?
follow its path.
I have to go from my left
my right.
to my
Yes,
we go.
you
right,
turn
which would
clockwise.
be
You
a
have
clockwise
yes.
direction. What the fuck part about viewing southeast to southwest? Do you not understand that that would be a left to right direction for me? Why do you keep asking
because Flatsoid won't answer it, and
I've got it on
Flatsoid
screen. I'm
turns
literally answering it.
anti-clockwise to do the same thing as you are.
No, I don't.
Right.
What's that direction on that compass?
Right.
What's that
Doesn't
direction
matter.
on that compass?
Doesn't
That is
matter.
west. Listen to me. That is west.
Doesn't
west
matter. If
by
you're both
northwest.
Doesn't
That is
matter.
west
within
by
the
northwest, which would indicate that that
yeah,
is
I don't. I'm not your son.
Flatsoid's
I'm not going to sit
left-hand
down like your
side.
son. So shut up. You both turn in
Wow.
opposite directions
Dude,
to each
Aldebaran.
other,
Oh,
and you're
don't
both
bring
within the.
families into it.
Aldebaran.
Shut up,
Aldebaran.
PJ.
Oh,
You're
wow.
both
Aldebaran.
You're
within the
bringing
circuit.
families into stuff. Why bring
You're both-
people's families into stuff?
Aldebaran, you're gonna have to relax, man. You're not the guy here
Right.
to tell
I
everybody
am right
what
now.
for what.
You're both
No.
within the circuit of the
So-
sun, are you not?
Aldebaran.
Get rid of him.
Here's the thing. Look here. I have Flatsoid standing on the other side of the road facing me. The other side of the road. The road goes from south to north. There's a car going by, traveling north. Okay? As I view it, I'm going to turn to my left. As Flatsoid views it, he's going to have to turn to his right. We're both going to be looking in the same fucking direction.
But as it's a circle, Sov, as you said, the sun.
If I was on the inside of the circle, I would have to look one way. If I was on the outside of the circle, I would have to be on the other side.
Are you both inside? That's what I asked you.
Getting? Think of a racetrack.
Are you inside the circle or outside the circle,
bleachers.
Sov?
You're in the bleachers of the racetrack.
But where are
the cars
you?
are going around
Where are
from
you?
your right to your left. Now you go stand inside the middle of the racetrack and observe the same cars. They are now going from your left to your right. They are still going the same goddamn direction.
If you're standing in the middle of the racetrack, the cars don't change direction for anybody.
Oh my word.
Dumbass! Oh my God!
All right, so the cars are going around the tracks they're going clockwise around the track. All right.
Oh
So when you just stand, you're a marshal. You stand.
From whose perspective?
You're a marshal.
Am I outside the track or am I
fuck
inside
up.
the
Listen,
track?
you're a marshal.
Am I inside
I'm
the
just
track or
talking to you. You
outside
won't
the track?
listen. Now stop. You
gotta give the details,
I am
asshole.
if you shut up, arsehole.
All right. Am I inside the fucking track or outside of the track?
Sov, you're a marshal.
Am I standing outside the track or the inside? You said it was going clockwise.
You're a marshal. You're
Where
standing
what's my
inside
orientation
the
to
track
clockwise?
circle.
Okay, so now they're going clockwise.
Yes. Okay. Doesn't matter whether you're inside or outside of it, the cars are still going clockwise. Correct? Okay. So it doesn't matter which way you turn. Doesn't matter which way you turn. The cars are still going clockwise for everybody. Okay.
Yes. This is why you idiots can't understand about the stars in the south.
So if so if the sun is going in a circle, as you said, in a circuit, and you are standing within the circle, the sun is either going clockwise or anti-clockwise. Is it not?
Go on.
So for you, when you watch the sun, when you're facing south and you are turning clockwise, following the path of the sun, which for you, if it's a circuit, are you inside the circle of the sun or outside?
I'm outside the circle of the sun. Well, I'm actually inside of it. Yeah, I'm inside.
You're inside of it. So the sun is turning clockwise. So what about you, Flatsoid?
What if I turn
Flatsoid,
around,
you're standing inside the circle.
What if I looked at it from the
Shut
south?
up, we're done with you. Flatsoid, you're standing inside.
Yeah, because I make more sense than your dumb shit. I keep crushing your stupid argument.
We've got your observation and your testimony.
But is
so
that
for
east to west, though, Sov? Is that...
Where the fuck do you think you are? Let me ask you something.
Sov,
Who is it actually that you think you are? Who in the fuck do you think you are?
A better man than you, Sov.
Okay,
no, you're not. I don't even think you're a man. You sound like a woman with a whiskey.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question, guys. that 118 degrees southeast.
Flatsoid, just one minute for you, Flatsoid.
Wait. I want
when
to bring it
you're
up.
standing inside your
There's
circle,
118
you are turning
degrees,
anti-clockwise,
118
opposite to Sov,
118
within the same sun circle.
Aldebaran, we're looking at actual observation here. Okay, 118 degrees southeast. Okay, that's the sunrise. Which direction would I have to turn to look at the sun set 285 degrees west with a northerly direction?
Do you have to put north or south in the center in order to make east and west the circle?
You're not answering my question.
You turn anti-clockwise.
North is in the center.
So you're turning anti-clockwise. Which
Not
way
of
would
the
the
compass.
globe? Which way would the globe tell me I have to move?
I don't know. I'm not here to represent the globe. I'm asking
you guys are. You
of your
definitely
experience.
represent
That's
the
all I'm
globe.
asking you.
That's what you
I'm
do.
asking for your.
So I'm asking you a
Flatsoid,
question.
Flatsoid,
So
I'm asking
I'm
you
asking
for
a
your
question. Which
experience.
direction-
Now, your
which
experience is
direction-
opposite to Sov's experience.
Which direction should the globe dictate the sun should move?
No idea. I'm asking you about your observation. And your observation is opposite to Sov's observation.
So should I be looking at the sunrise and then move to my left to see it make an arc and set back down? So should I see
What do you mean
anti-clockwise or
you
clockwise?
should be? What do you mean you should be?
Should I see anti-clockwise or clockwise according to you?
I'm asking you what you observe and what you do, not what you could do or should do.
What is the end goal of this series of
Well,
questions?
because you seem to believe that the sun has one circuit on the flat
Goes from
Earth,
east to
but
west.
it's observed going in two
course it
opposite
does.
directions.
It's not going in two opposite
You
directions.
watch it go clockwise, and Flatsoid's
No,
watching it go
it's always-
anti-clockwise.
Where is
it that you think that east and west
Doesn't
flip
matter about the
for
east
some
and west.
reason?
I'm talking about the rotation of the
No,
sun.
it does matter because those are the directions that the sun goes.
Okay, then, Sov, is your clockwise circle where the sun goes, does that go from east to west around a clockwise circle?
Actually, it's going the opposite way of what it would be on a clock for me.
So it's anti-clockwise. It's going from east to west on an anti-clockwise circle.
Well, it depends on which way you're looking at it.
It's not. It's going from east to west.
It does.
You're facing south.
It does. You're either outside the arc or you're inside the arc.
You said you're inside.
You're inside
all it
the
is.
circle on both of them. One of them clockwise.
I'm not inside the
other
circle.
one
I'm outside the
is-
circle. The sun never comes beyond the Tropic of
No,
Cancer.
when you've not witnessed the circles, right? At the minute, the sun is making a clockwise circle in the north, let's say. Right? My friend in Norway is witnessing it right now.
No, it's not.
Yes.
Okay.
No, that arc that I'm observing is counterclockwise because as it's going, it's coming away like
And this is
How
what
do
I
you
want
know?
to
How do you know whether you're inside or outside of it?
Aldebaran, this is why I asked. This is why I brought that specific up, and I asked you, what does it say here? In South Africa, as in all locations south of the equator, the sun appears to move across the sky in a clockwise direction, not counterclockwise. Let's quickly go back to this.
Yeah, but it also says, hang on, go back, dipshit.
Wait.
It also
Which
says the
direction?
Earth is rotating.
Aldebaran, which direction
Right
would this?
to left,
Which
though.
direction would this show you, Aldebaran? Clockwise or anti-clockwise?
So right to left is clockwise, is it? In South Africa.
It's anti-clockwise showing. My observation goes against what your globe says.
No, we're talking about your observation about what it goes for you, not with the globe.
The
just for you,
observation
in reality.
Yeah,
Remember,
We're talking about reality now.
reality, Flatsoid. Come
Okay,
on.
I think
Reality.
you guys need to
Come on.
keep quiet for 2 seconds
In reality.
because this is the issue you globies have. You require the sun to go clockwise in the south.
No,
I have an
don't.
observation that shows the sun go
I don't require
anti-clockwise.
it to do that.
Wait.
Observe
We're just asking for
reality.
you.
That's what we're
You have
doing.
an see why they're running. You have an observation.
Not
showing
running,
the
still
sun
here, Flatsoid.
anti-clockwise in
You're
the sun,
running.
in the sky. So why is it that I'm able to observe in reality something that goes against the globe claim?
No,
What
you just
globe
should.
claim?
The
But we're
globe
not making
claims
that
the
claim,
sun-
Flatsoid. Don't give us a claim that we are not making. That's not honest of you.
The globe claims.
What, we're not claiming it.
We're only asking for your experience of reality as you perceive it.
Are you not claiming the globe, Bev?
No.
The real globe.
No.
All of the observations in the real globe.
Oh, you're not a glober, Bev?
Right now.
You know Bev's not a glober.
The
Don't be
real
silly.
globe, flat side.
Oh, okay, cool. So then why? Okay, then I'm going to tell you straight. Then since you're not on a globe and you're not on a flat Earth, where are you?
In reality.
He doesn't know.
Reality.
And reality tells me.
Reality. Is that what
reality?
Okay, great. If
reality tells me you can't
wait.
describe your reality. I'm
happy with that. Wait. I'm happy you guys are realists. You know why? You know why I'm happy you're realists? Because then you would agree and you wouldn't have a bias towards a globe, correct?
I agree that the sun
okay, cool.
witness.
So you would agree. You would agree.
Wait.
And you would agree.
Clockwise circles.
By two people on the panel who can say so.
So you guys would agree then that this observation goes against what the globe claims.
Which observation?
The one I got on screen.
If it's an observation made in reality, then it doesn't go against any observations made in reality. So don't give me claim of something that doesn't happen in reality.
An observation is not happening in reality.
You're like the last person to be asked about reality.
Who's that talking?
I'm really confused though. Are you not telling me? Did you not just tell me that I need to? I'm showing an observation, and you're telling me that's not reality.
No.
Well, you won't. You don't want to describe your reality honestly.
I literally just did.
Yeah,
the sunrise,
where you turn anti-clockwise, where Sob turns clockwise physically, and you turn anti-clockwise physically.
It went anti-clockwise, yes.
Yes. Okay.
And the
so
globe
you're both rotating in different directions, anti-clockwise and clockwise.
And the globe requires the sun to
and
go
yet the sun is the same sun, is it not? Correct?
Same sun.
Okay, so how is it that you turn clockwise to follow the path of the sun, and Sob turns anti-clockwise, and Sob turns clockwise, observing the same sun?
That's the thing. I watch it anti-clockwise, not clockwise.
Exactly.
That's what we said all along.
Listen, and the globe claims it needs to go.
No, we're talking about you, not the globe. Leave the globe behind. You're obsessed, man.
Reality, flat side. Stop thinking.
So you would agree with me the globe is debunked then? That's my point.
No, we're talking about you observing reality and stop messing about with everybody else.
Do you agree with me the globe is
physically, you turn anti-clockwise, Sov turns clockwise, observing the same sun. How?
Do you agree with me the globe is bunk then?
No, we're asking you. We're not asking about the globe.
Do you agree with me the globe is bunk then?
We're not asking you about it. Listen, when I came into this,
I want to ask you, based on that, that's all I want. It's just a simple yes or no. Do you believe with me, based on the observation I've given, it goes against what the globe says? That's all I need to know.
I'm asking you about what you observe.
It's a simple yes or no answer.
Doesn't matter whether it goes against anybody. You explain for you.
Because I've got a reasoning for this. Do you agree with me that if I show the sun go anti-clockwise, where it's supposed to go clockwise according to a globe, it shows the globe false?
To go clockwise, flat side.
It's a yes or no answer.
Well, if it's observed going anti-clockwise, why would somebody say it's meant to go clockwise? Why would somebody say that?
Because the globe requires
a flat Earth claim.
No, the globe requires the sun to go clockwise.
But you're flat earthers, the two of you.
The flat
Sov and you are flat earthers. Claim flat earthers. Biblical.
Around a north point.
Yeah.
That's the flat Earth that requires that flat side.
Turns
the globe,
clockwise.
Real globe, observes clockwise sun circles and anti-clockwise sun circles.
And that's how you'll need to get to your radius too.
And you want to watch out because Jaren has made an argument now. A real argument.
Which is now being shown wrong thanks to you two.
Can't just no,
to us two.
It goes anti-clockwise, flat side.
We spotted this before this was ever spoken about.
Okay.
In fact, I mean, I didn't come up with it, but Bev came up with the argument that Jaren is now talking about. Perhaps he stole it from
Now I want to
Bev.
point it out further, because that wasn't my.
But on the flat Earth, your sun circles clockwise around the north, does it not?
The AE map and the sun and moon.
I don't live on a map. Okay, I just want to
No,
point
we're
out.
talking about.
Okay, I just want to point out that
Well,
this
does it go anti-clockwise then? Because that's how you observe it. Does it go anti-clockwise around the North Pole on your flat Earth?
I've never been to the North Pole.
Why aren't you talking to, like, World War II pilots who, like, depended on?
Because we're in here. There's no World War II pilots in here, is there?
Not yet.
No, where it never took place over a curve. Never took place. And you want to?
So what we know is that two flat earthers.
Dude, you're out of your damn mind.
Two flat earthers on the same panel observe the sun going in opposite directions to each other on the flat Earth
on the same day.
Same day. So I've said he watches it go clockwise, and you said you watch it go anti-clockwise.
He said anti-clock.
Yes. So and Sov said it goes clockwise, same as I see that where I am.
No, Sov got confused.
The globe says that it should go clockwise in the south and anti-clockwise in the north.
Nah.
Did you know that? So you're literally opposite of what
you
observe.
Well, that's falsified. I could falsify that, like it goes clockwise.
Well, the globe's
I live
false
in the north. Obviously, if it says that, then that's easy to debunk, isn't it? But that's not the real globe, Flatsoid, because the real globe has the sun going clockwise circles in the north.
Let me put it again.
And anti-clockwise circles in the south.
I'm surprised nobody said it. 10 years.
South Africa, all locations south of the equator, the sun appears to move across the sky in a clockwise direction. I should know it moves in a anti-clockwise direction. It says yeah. Okay? Let's see what it says.
What does it say next? What does it say next, though? This is because...
The statement is pretty good. While it's true that the Earth rotates counterclockwise as viewed from above the North Pole, and the sun appears to move across the sky from east to west, the sun itself is not following anti-clockwise path around the UK. The sun's apparent movement is due to Earth rotation. The Earth rotation what causes the sun to appear to rise east to west. So it's following an anti-clockwise by you guys.
No, it's clockwise.
No, for you, it's anti-clockwise too.
The UK.
No, for you.
The UK is supposed to be, according to the globe. According to the globe,
we're talking about our observations. We're talking about reality. Wake up,
guys. Listen.
Wake up.
This is based on the globe. It's saying the north is supposed to see it as clockwise. You guys see it anti-clockwise.
I don't.
And it says in the south you see it clockwise, and I see it anti-clockwise.
I turn clockwise.
It's literally
inverted.
I
turn clockwise. I never see it go clockwise. I turn clockwise, following the arc of the sun. Yes, following the arc of the sun, and you turn anti-clockwise following the arc of the sun. You turn opposite to me.
Okay, so you see clockwise.
I turn clockwise, following the sun. I don't see a whole circle, so I couldn't say that.
Okay, so you see clockwise, okay?
I turn clockwise. You turn anti-clockwise. You.
Yes, but I'm supposed to see clockwise.
No, but we live in the same place. You're meant to turn the same direction as me, aren't you?
According to the globe, I'm supposed to be.
No, according to flat. According to flat. The
Yeah,
sun is only going in one direction, Flatsoid.
I agree. The sun's only moving in one direction.
So which way is it going? Clockwise or anti-clockwise?
It appears to go anti-clockwise where I am.
And it appears to go clockwise where I am.
And that goes against
so
the
who's
globe.
correct?
That's
on flat Earth. And so it was the same for Sov, because he said the same as me.
Explain that on a globe model. What the fuck are you talking about?
No, we're talking about flat Earth. We're investigating flat Earth.
No, you can't.
No.
On a globe.
Yes.
We were globers.
Yes. Well, I mean, here we are. We have two people on flat Earth. One who says that he turns clockwise to follow the path of the sun during the day, and another flat earther who says he turns anti-clockwise to follow the sun during the path of the day. How do we explain that? How do you explain that?
You can't explain it either. That's your
problem. That's what I don't have to.
Show me a demonstration. Show me.
The point is, can I just
Show me.
clarify? Just clarify my position. I'm not so sure about Elder Bear, but my position is that the counter-rotating sun circles and obviously the straight line equator are impossible to explain.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't. Yeah, I'm just talking about observations here.
But you're
now,
trying to
now,
pin it
now.
all.
PJ,
Oh, this
thanks for
can't
coming,
happen
man.
on a flat Earth.
Now, there
but
are
it's
now
somehow
flat
possible
earthers
on a globe one, even though I never give any proof.
Yeah,
That's what you're doing, dude, and it's messed up.
I agree with you that no one knows what the sun is or what it does. I agree with that.
Yeah, well, what we're saying is that,
but the only how can I put it, reference we have to work against is the globe, because they're the only ones that make a claim.
no, we have reality.
But you would then agree with us that reality doesn't show globe.
No, it doesn't. It shows reality.
Yeah.
It shows the
I agree, it
clockwise
shows
sun
reality.
circles in the north at this time of year, and it shows the anti-clockwise sun circles in the south at 6 months opposite time. And at a certain time, when you go to the equator, which is reported to be in the center of these two sun circles, where it's a straight line. The sun goes from east to west directly above your head in a straight line. Now, those are reality observations.
I agree.
So your use of the word straight line, or the phrase straight line, does that mean curved, the way you want it to relate to the surface of Earth?
Straight is straight.
Straight, east to west.
Always
no, just so we have
straight.
that clear. So that way you guys are not allowed to call curved lines straight anymore.
No,
What do you mean?
straight lines
I've never
don't
called
curve.
curved line straight, because straight's straight.
Well, I mean, the same should be attributed to what we walk on.
What do you,
No,
what
you
you
both-
walk on? The ground.
Yeah.
Well, that's not straight, right?
Well, not precisely, but level enough.
Right, well, that's
Not
good.
even.
As long as we're not going to call it
And level is
straight
not curved.
or flat or anything like that, right? We're not going to call the ground straight or flat or a plane, right?
Well,
I agree with you.
Earth is definitely flat.
Yeah. We definitely live on a planet.
Now, with the TFE observations, Flatsoid, the sun is going in an anti-clockwise direction from right to left, and you said it's fake, but it's what you observe yourself personally every day. So is yours fake, or is the TFE one fake?
TFE's fake. Full stop. I haven't
the sun
seen
goes
how
in the
TFE
same
I haven't
direction
seen,
as
I've seen too
as
much
you.
deception from TFE to say it's real.
Well, I don't think you've even addressed the sun.
Down there,
I think you've just looked at hair, vaping, green screens, little
But
marks on the video, not the
Did
sun.
we not just agree that there was an anti-clockwise sun circle observed?
No, we didn't observe anything.
You just have said you observe it. You observe it personally.
I observe, but TFE, we don't observe anything. They haven't presented anything to observe.
Look out. You turn anti-clockwise, the same as they did in
I
the
don't turn
TFE
anything.
videos.
The sun turns. The sun moves ahead.
And you have to turn physically to follow
You
that
put your
path.
arm
You said
out
so.
and point at it, Flatsoid.
Okay,
your
I have to
arm
physically
is turning
move
like
to
the
see
arm
the
of the
moving
clock.
sun, yes.
And
Yes,
it would
and that-
be going anti-clockwise, right? The opposite direction to what a clock hand would go.
Exactly the same as was observed on the TFE videos that have been shown.
Yeah,
They
I
show
think
what
this
you say you experience daily.
No, but how do you know that was based on the surface of the Earth?
What do you mean?
You know exactly what I mean.
What, the sun wasn't on the surface of the Earth?
No shit.
The tripods were definitely
tripods
on the
were.
surface. I saw
And the-
them. They look
and the
like, at least they
motors-
look like they were.
No. So does a light?
And the motors also had to
change the
rotate
surface
anti-clockwise to follow the
of Earth?
sun.
Does a light change the surface of the Earth you're standing on?
No.
Not at all.
No.
That's not the argument.
The only thing it
So
can do,
We
the
did-
only thing it can do is show observation against the claim made. That's it.
All I was
the only
asking
ones
was
who
about
made the only
the
ones who made a
rotations.
claim specifically about the sun is the globe.
It's a
You
sun
understand? So
circle.
they're
Yeah.
the only ones that have the burden to worry about.
They just went there to show Jaren something that would falsify his model. That was
What model?
Anti-clockwise.
The
sun
EA
circle.
model.
His
EA
AE
not a
AE
model,
model. AE
and
model.
the one that Dave
It's a
Weiss
map, it's
has,
not a
the
model.
moon clock app,
It was his
has
model.
the sun circling clockwise. So showing him a anti-clockwise circle about a point which he thought was on the circumference means that the sun circle can't be going clockwise around the north, right?
But that's the thing. Don't you think
But
Jaren
that's
could have
his
just
flat
asked the
earth
guy
map.
that lives in the south and say, hey, which direction does the sun move? And I could have told him that it would have spared him all that heartache
Would
to
have
go
gone
to
anti-clockwise, yeah.
Antarctica, correct?
Why haven't
But they
you
already
told
knew
everybody
that.
else? You let everybody else believe that the sun wasn't circling anti-clockwise.
Who said that?
You!
You.
I never said that. I never said anti-clockwise.
You said it's
I've always said
fake.
east to west.
You
That's
said
not-
it's fake.
It is
Yeah.
fake. TFE's
It's not
fake.
fake.
But the sun does circle anti-clockwise.
Where's the evidence for this?
You see it every day.
TFE.
At TFE, at Antarctica.
And you witnessed the
I'm
sun.
sorry,
moving
you know
in
I didn't
that
go to
direction.
Antarctica. My
You
observation
went
is not
flat-soid,
in
don't be
Antarctica.
stupid. You said you
No,
already
I'm not being
said
stupid. You guys
you've
are
already
trying to
said you
wait,
observe it
wait.
yourself
You're
every
trying
day.
to correlate. You're trying to correlate things from my observation to TFE in Antarctica.
What
No.
I'm doing,
In
that's
Antarctica
I'm
is different.
I'm using direct observation right now. For me, at the minute where I live, the sun goes clockwise, right? But it doesn't make a full circle. It's like it is for you, presumably. It goes from the east, sets in
Doesn't
the
make a
west,
full circle.
right? Not a full circle. But for my friend Saragaki, who lives in the most northerly city at the moment, he's witnessing the sun circle. And as he's witnessing the sun circle, 3 months, no set. So there's no east and there's no west, according to where the sun sets and rises.
But that's not how east and west are defined.
I know that, but
Okay.
these guys here, Flatsoid
Well-
and Sov, seem to
Whoa,
think
whoa.
that the sun
Well, no,
goes from
stop
east
putting.
to west.
Flatsoid
It's
doesn't-
always east to
when-
west.
Flatsoid can't even read his own
there
direction.
It's
is
always
a
east to
sun.
west.
So,
It's
well,
always east to west.
where's east and where's west on the sun circle?
What do you mean? Where's east? East is the position that always rises from you.
It
But
doesn't
it's
rise.
not rising. It's
The,
in
the sun doesn't
sky,
rise.
No,
making a
it's
circle.
in the sky for 24 hours, for months.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me bring up.
Flatsoid.
Let me
Hey.
bring up something that shows you the sun rising.
Flatsoid. In
So
the
you
north,
don't shut up, Brenda. You don't
Right, right,
believe then that the sun does it? There's a 24-hour sun in the north, Flatsoid. That's not your belief.
No, the north is just. I have no issue with it in the north.
24.
Well, then
So
we're-
okay, so you've never seen that, but you take that.
There's the sun rising.
On-
There's the
on
sun
good
rising.
faith.
You just told me a sunrise. There's no such thing as a sunrise. There's a sunrise.
No, look.
Yes, for you, but not for the
Flatsoid,
24-hour
listen.
sun in the north.
Flatsoid,
There is no
listen.
24-hour sun in the
Listen,
north.
you just said there
because
was
they haven't
one.
presented
Please,
it to me.
please.
You
for
haven't.
fuck's
Wait.
sake.
Let me make it very clear. They haven't presented a 24-hour sun in Antarctica. You are just claiming
no,
they
in the
did.
north.
I'm making a relationship
Flatsoid.
here.
No, they
in
said
the
Antarctica.
north.
Now,
I
Brenda, stay
see.
out of
I
this.
just
No,
asked you
they're
about the
talking
north.
about the Arctic.
They said
Circle.
Antarctica.
Come on.
They
No,
told
they're
us
I said the
not.
north.
Talk-
We were
Come
talking about
on.
No, I
Saragaki.
agree. There's a 24-hour
talking-
sun in the north. I never disagreed that there isn't.
Okay.
We're talking now specifically about Antarctica.
Is there a
which I'm
24-hour
telling
sun
you
in,
there is
in
not
the
one.
Arctic? In the Arctic, is there a 24-hour sun?
There is no 24-hour sun in
We're talking
Antarctica.
about the
Arctic.
Arctic.
TFE.
In
The north
Arctic.
has a 24-hour sun. It's not hard
Right.
to understand.
Which way is
Right.
east and west
But
then?
Brenda has absolutely nothing to do with what we're talking about now. So Brenda,
Which
butt
way
off
is
and let us
east-
actually talk for a bit, please.
Which way is
So,
east and
Elder
west
Bear-
when you're
We're
in
not
the
asking you,
north?
Brenda. Shut up, Brenda. Listen.
Thank you.
Shut up,
So,
Elder Bear.
so the idea was that if there was a 24-hour sun, that stays in the sky for 24 hours. There is no rising or setting in the east and west. So those, in a sense, don't exist in that time.
Literally, yeah, there we go. This is the equinox.
So, and the sun is going clockwise, rotating clockwise in the sky,
Anti-clockwise.
clockwise in the north. For you, it's anti-clockwise, as it is in the south, because you're in the south.
And it's supposed to be going clockwise.
We're talking about
clockwise in
going
the north.
clockwise now.
Anti-clock. Listen what I'm saying. According to the claim, in the south, the sun must go clockwise. I'm observing it go anti-clockwise.
Whose claim? Whose claim?
The globe.
I don't know why
the
you're
globe
saying
doesn't
that.
make that claim.
I literally had it on. Let me do it
Oh, he's
again.
gonna
There we
show-
go.
he's got a
In
picture
South
showing
Africa, as in all locations south of the equator, the sun appears
This
to
isn't
move across
very
the sky
picture,
in
is
a
it?
clockwise direction. Can you read? Clockwise.
Yeah, but in reality, Flat
So,
for
listen
me,
what I'm
the sun
saying.
is going
In reality,
clockwise,
listen
and
what I'm
at the minute,
Bev,
in the
Bev,
north, it's
listen for
making a clockwise sun circle.
Listen for a bit.
Why
Listen.
can we not make
Listen.
the relationship
No.
that for you,
Listen.
Flatsoid, why are you looking for the globe to
Listen.
save you,
Listen.
Flatsoid?
Listen.
Why are you appealing to the
Listen.
globe to
East
save
by
you?
east by
Listen.
southeast.
Listen.
I observe east by southeast to west by southwest. It goes from my right to my left. That's anti-clockwise.
This is fucking hilarious.
You
Flat
don't.
earthers
You
don't
said
know their
you face
direction.
south and it
Okay,
goes
guys.
clockwise.
So again, all of you now, okay? TFE claims the sun is going anti-clockwise, like I observe.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. I asked McToon. I said,
What's
so the
left to
sun is
right?
going from right to left.
Oh well,
I
Okay,
said
so
to
you're
McToon.
claiming TFE didn't go left to okay, not Glenn Close.
No,
Let
I
me
said it
quickly
goes
get
right
TFE
to
up for you.
left.
Okay.
Listen,
Let's get
listen.
TFE up for you. Okay.
Yeah, watch it. Watch it.
Yeah.
Then get a video of
Oh, you
the
mean that fake
northern
video they got?
24-hour sun and see which way the sun is going there.
We are talking about TFE in Antarctica, not the northern.
Oh Christ! Yeah, they lied, man.
So let me
You
just
don't know
show
that.
you guys.
They
You're
lied.
the
They bought
liar,
that-
Sov.
they bought
You're
that
not
fake
trustworthy,
video and
Sov.
they
We don't
lied,
trust
man.
you.
I don't give a fuck if you trust me or not, bro. They lied. Okay.
Well, Flatsoid saw the same as they did. So is Flatsoid lying?
The flight.
I was flat
Because
side
he
see
turns
the-
anti-clockwise
see
to
the
follow
same
the
as
sun's
they.
path,
They're
same as they
supposed-
did at TFE.
They're outside
Actually,
of it.
Saab
He's
gave-
inside it.
Well, that's what they
Okay.
no,
Watch,
they actually
watch.
claimed it went the
Which
other
direction?
direction.
Wait. Elderbear, I want you guys to pay attention now.
Watch.
Which direction is the sun moving? Anti-clockwise or clockwise? Yeah.
Anti-clockwise.
Anti-clockwise. Okay.
Yes.
Now let's go here. What does it say should be happening in South
Flatsoid.
Africa? As in
Flatsoid.
all
We're
locations.
talking about the flat
South-
Earth here, man. We're
south
not
of the
looking for you to
equator,
appeal to the
Elderbear.
authority of the globe to save your ass. We're asking you
is
to
literally
explain on
about
the flat
moving a
Earth
globe.
how the sun
Elderbear, you're gonna have to
can
shut up, man.
rotate in
Stop
two
over-talking
opposing
me every time I read
directions.
You don't want him to
Yeah, yeah.
explain anything.
You can't
E.
explain
Who
it.
is that?
Stop
What's his
over-talking me when
All
I
you can
explain
do
this,
is find the globe.
What's your name, asshole?
Okay,
Hey, what's your name,
His name is
asshole?
Elderberry or whatever his name is.
Elder
Okay, so
Bear.
let me try this again.
Elderberry. Okay, listen, Dingleberry. Here's the deal, right? He's trying to explain it to you, Dingleberry. So shut your fucking cum bucket and let him
Don't you have
explain it.
some
Ah.
more videos
Okay,
about
so let's
Jews
try this
to talk
again.
about, Saab?
Let's try
But
this
you
again.
come in then, Brenda.
Well,
Okay, bye,
watch
Brenda.
this.
Bye, Brenda.
This is
Okay.
this is what you
Now we're
observe,
gonna
isn't
do-
it,
So
Flatsoid?
what we're going to do now is, Elderbear, you're going to shut up for 2 seconds and actually let me finish my statement, okay? Because maybe you don't want to listen to the truth, but I think the people in chat want to listen. So I'm going to try this again. We see based on TFE, this is the claim of why you guys claim it's not a flat Earth. Yes, so you're claiming globe
This has
here.
got nothing to do with that.
It's moving anti-clockwise. There we go. We see it anti-clockwise. Now let's go look what the globe claims should be
Stop there a
happening.
minute. No. Stop there a minute.
No.
Now, flat.
Okay,
Sov,
okay, now I have to mute him
Sov,
because he won't shut up. I had to mute him. Okay, so the globe claims all locations in South Equator, correct? Sov, that's what it says, correct? The sun appears to move across the sky in a clockwise direction, not counterclockwise. So therefore, TFE goes against what the globe claims. So if you claim TFE is real, you are claiming against the globe. Do you understand this now?
That's so crazy.
No, listen. We're talking about the flat Earth. All right. And you just showed a video there. What it's the same as you observe flatsoid when you watch the sun.
Anti-clockwise, yes.
Okay, but Sov over here, he sees it goes in the opposite direction when he watches it. On the flat Earth.
It's still going east to west. I'm looking at it from the other side of this. I'm looking at it from the other side of the track, dumbass.
You're not inside the circuit of the sun?
I'm not inside the circuit of the sun. No, I'm outside of the circuit of the sun.
And what about when it's in the north? And there's a 24-hour sun.
I always have to look south. I always have to look south in a southerly direction to see the sun, whether it is east by southeast or whether it is west by southwest. And it's actually
I always see it going clockwise for every day.
No, you don't.
And you do.
No, you don't. No, because you have to look south
Yeah.
as well.
I still
and you
turn
observe the sun
clockwise,
coming up from
But
a
you
south,
turn
from an east by southeast direction, and it goes to a west by
I turn in the
southwest
clockwise direction.
That's always what you
every
observe,
time.
or you're lying about your
Well, no,
location.
you need to work it out. It's you need to work it out whether you're
I don't need to work out shit.
where
I
you
got it
are
worked
in
out.
relation
You're
to
the only one
flatsoid.
You're having a problem here.
Well,
You're the only one
this
that
has
has
been
a
going on
problem
for
here.
months.
He's standing on the other side of the track. He's going to see as far as left and right is concerned. That's all based on his orientation. It's still going east to west. If you're looking north, if you're looking north
to explain.
see the sun,
Yeah, here you are finding
if
it
you're
impossible.
looking north
Now
to
you're
see the sun,
denying
it's
it.
going to go from your right to your left. Shut your crumpet eating fucking stupid mouth.
I'm
Jesus.
lactose intolerant and
You're such an elevated
gluten
speaker, so
intolerant,
well
so,
done.
Yeah.
You're a
I
retarded.
never really
I swear
liked
to God,
crumpets
all you do
either.
is talk and snip like one. I don't know, like TFE, like
Well, I've watched this for
FTFE.
months.
You're just
I've watched this for months.
You've watched it for months, and you actually don't have to look south in any south direction to see the sun. You actually look north to see the sun.
I said I've watched you.
Then shut the fuck up. You see it come from
Yes.
the east by
The
southeast direction. and
flatsoid sees
sets-
it opposite.
There you go. He's on the outside of the track, dumbass.
He's the
on
sun
the other side
expert,
of the
sun
road.
circle expert. Of
See, you can't shut your
East to
goddamn
west.
stupid little troll
Clockwise,
mouth
but
to even
east
let
to
somebody
west,
finish a sentence, can
anti-clockwise.
you? Look, you can't do
Okay.
it now, can you? You can't do it now, can you? You're incapable because you have a child mind. You have the mind of a child.
Which you're like your child, you mean?
Obviously.
No, you are
Yeah.
have the mind of
Obviously
a
it does.
child.
We
This
know
is why
about you and
act the
your
way you do.
child mind. So
Yeah, do we know who's we? You got a fucking mouse in
anybody
your
who
pocket?
listens to the public viewing of you,
Really? How many
I
subscribers
don't need
you got,
followers like
dipshit?
you.
Yeah, that's right. You don't
No.
have any because you don't have
He
any
hasn't,
content.
yeah, you're right. You're
I,
right.
on the other hand, I'm about to break 3,000. How about
Yeah.
that?
What I'm observing is that you two are both turning in
You're
the
not
opposite
observing
direction
shit.
to
You
follow
can't
the path
observe
of the
anything
sun
with your
on
head up
flat
your
Earth.
ass. Hey, Dingleberry,
Okay.
you can't observe anything with your head up your ass.
That's a flat, sir. That's a Nathan Oakley term, that Dingleberry. So you
You
got it
can
from, or you got it
observe
from you?
the clockwise
Well, that's your
movement
name.
Not.
of the sun, though, in the north, at least where
It's
I live.
elderberry.
I can observe that.
No berry.
Oh, elderberry.
No, there's no berry.
Dingleberry,
No berry.
elderberry, whatever.
It's just a bear.
Call him Ghoulie.
I was
Just call him a
baptized by Nathan Oakley.
Mm-hmm.
Just call him Ghoulie,
He
man.
gave me that name. And then when he realized that he gave me that name, he can't say it anymore.
No, Wesley, you just learned about perpendicular lines. You don't think that
So-
they're at
Don't
90-degree
even think Reggie
intersection.
still knows what
Otherwise, your
perpendicular
plumb and your
is.
level could never be
So-
the
North,
same.
south,
think
east,
he
and
knows
west
what it
and
is.
stuff. North, south, east, and west, they're perpendicular, right?
So you're
No,
going to
no.
need this.
Okay.
Go on.
What the fuck are you even
Cardinal
talking about?
directions.
The sun rises. The sun
The sun-
rises.
Yeah, but the cardinal
Okay.
directions,
In
they're
an east
perpendicular,
by
right?
southeast. Listen. Shut your stupid fucking mouth for a second. My observations of the sun north of the tropic where I am is always from an east by southeast direction and sets in a west by southwest direction. That means that it's going in an arc away from me.
Now, is it?
Okay.
Can we get a check on that?
And it also
Is that
means
all
that
right?
it's going from my left
Wasn't
to my
all right when
right,
Elder Bear was saying
which
it.
is anti-clockwise.
Is it all right now that Sov's saying it? Is it okay that Sov's saying the sun going in an arc? Because you went
apparent arc.
If you were standing
Elder Bear earlier for saying that.
If you're standing in the middle of a clock, as opposed to standing on the outside edge of the clock.
You said you were inside the circuit a while back, and then you went off, and you maybe did a bit of scribbling on a bit of paper and come back and thought, I know what I'll say next. I'll say I'm on the outside
Listen
and
to me
flat
again
side's on
and
the
work
outside.
it out. Work
But
it out
in
in
the
your head
beginning,
there,
you were
Dingleberry.
in
Work it
the
out in your
circle,
head.
inside the
Work it out
circle,
in your head real quick. East by southeast.
clockwise.
Right? East by southeast. Think about where that is. Okay? And then west by southwest.
So explain that in the north then. Explain that in the 24-hour sun in the north. Explain that in that relationship.
I don't get a 24-hour sun where I'm at.
Yeah, but do you agree that happens?
I don't get a 24-hour sun where I'm at. I don't get a 24-hour sun.
No, you don't know anything about the sun. You made a lot of claims here today about the sun.
Just jumping. Now you're just jumping over shit. Shit. You didn't like the answer, so now you're going to change the
because
question.
at some time, and Flatside agreed, there is a 24-hour sun in the north. So at some point, the sun, it's possible for you to stand with the sun going in a circle completely around you for 24 hours to be observed.
Sov, can we have different
in the north?
We have different agreements?
And the more north that you are.
It's like if you say something automatically, that means I agree. If I say something, you
no. Sov. So wait.
Listen. He can't let a motherfucker finish a sentence before he's got to jump in with his little stupid British shit. Shut up. Just shut up.
Don't you find it odd that if you say something, apparently I must just agree, and if I say something,
it's just the opposite, because you're doing the opposite. So it's just
again, we don't need to agree.
It's a dichotomy you got going on.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you're making him fight my argument, and you're trying to say because I say this, therefore he has to also agree with it. That's not how it works.
You asked what I observed. Right? I told you what I observed. Then you start wanting to jump on 24-hour sun. I've not observed the 24-hour sun.
Why did you say you were inside the circuit of the sun then?
Okay. Was I finished talking?
Now why are you saying you're outside the circuit of the
Was
sun?
I finished talking when you interrupted me,
Daddy.
you
Sorry,
asshole?
Daddy. I'll sit down, Daddy. Don't hit me, Daddy. Don't hit me,
That's right.
Daddy.
Good. Now
don't
shut
hit me,
your
Please,
right
don't
in
hit me.
Go
Don't
on,
hit me,
get right
Daddy.
in
Don't. Please, you're scaring me.
Okay, Elder Bear unfortunately had to be muted now, so he can go ahead, Sov.
You are a child, Elderberry. You asked me what my observation was. I told you what that is. If you can't work that out in your head as to how that works, that's a you problem. Okay? If your whole thing is to have to keep trying and move the goalposts, ask different questions about other shit that don't have anything to do with what you were asking in the first goddamn place, now you're just floundering around. Okay? Another thing is you need to shut the fuck up until the other person is done telling what they got to tell about it. That's all.
Yeah, adult talk.
I don't know why you can't do that. If maybe it's your culture, I think it probably is. Because there's some reason you fucking Brits think that you're better than everybody else, and you're not. You're shit.
Are you doing the double gun fingers?
Just like everybody else.
Is that what you're doing?
Just like everyone else. You're no better or worse than anybody else. You're still just shit walking around on the planet.
I don't have any respect
That's
for
it.
yourself. I don't have to play to any of your rules, okay?
I don't give a fuck about your respect. I don't want your respect. I don't like you. I think you're an abominable
Because if I was to
human
become a
being.
good flat earther, I would have to be subservient to you.
I
And that's
would
not going to
want you
happen.
then either.
Or
I would
subservient
not-
to
I would not
Flatsoid
want
either,
you
because
around
you
me
think
then
you know
either.
better.
You know why? because you're a shit.
Right.
Now I can sit
Now,
here and
you
talk
talked
over
for
you as
ages
much as
about
you
sun
talk over everybody else.
circuits.
Is that what we're going to do? Is we're going to sit here and talk over each other so we can't hear?
Well, you talked about sun circuits, all right?
Is that, I mean, is that what
And
we
at
do?
one
We talk
point you
over when
said you were
everybody else is
inside the
talking. When
circuit.
somebody else is
Now
trying
you're
to have
saying
the
you're
floor and
outside
shit,
the
we just talk
circuit
over them
at
so
the
nobody
same
else
time
can
as
hear them
me,
and
and you
everything. So
haven't
that's
got a
what we do.
clue
Is
whether
that
it's a
what we do all
circuit
the
or
time
not
when
because
we're
you've
trying to get a
never
point
witnessed
across?
it.
We just talk over everybody, and that's what we do.
Fundy
That's
muting. Well done, Sov.
And
You've
he's
done well
trying to
there.
talk
That was
over you.
good.
Yes.
Okay, so
You
anyway,
don't know
remember I
anything,
explained
Sob, right?
Is that what you do? Is you talk over everybody while they try to talk?
So remember
Maybe you
earlier I
do that in your
explained.
house.
Is that what
So you remember earlier I explained the airplane, Alderberry.
Did you hear
Now
the
you're
way
going to
the
need.
health bear was actually
So
trying
when I
to
was
say something?
so while I was
Sov
explaining that
wasn't.
plane, was that plane taking a
Yeah, that's how
straight
it
path?
plays. Now you're going to need this. You're
Was
going to
that
need
plane
this circuit of the sun so that
was the
you can
plane
then measure
was the
your flat
plane
Earth, aren't
I'm
you?
still talking, Alderberry.
Is there a problem with everybody talks over you, Elderberry?
Okay. So anyway, Alderberry, I want to
Well, I know
know
that
when I was
people want to
explaining
try to
it, when
change
I
the
was
subject
Is
and
there a problem with
obfuscate.
everybody talking over you,
No, I don't
Elderberry?
think anyone's
Is that a problem when
Okay,
people
he's
talk
muted
over you?
again.
We can just talk over each other. Is that what
He's
we want to
muted
do?
again. Okay. So remember earlier I said about the airplane. And I'm asking, is it taking a straight path or an arced path? There's only two answers for this. Only two possible answers. Let's see if you're going to actually man up and answer the question. Did that plane, excuse me, take an arced path or a straight path?
Are you going to do the 24/7 politics stuff and just keep muting me, and I have to only answer this
Well, you
dumb
don't
question?
Go ahead and just not answer the question and talk over people and stuff. Go ahead and answer the question, Elderberry.
What's that? Whether the plane is arcing or going straight? How would I know?
There you go.
What does it appear to do to you?
It's just going from one place to another.
Okay, so I'm going to do this again in case people didn't hear. We were putting a plane coming direct, and there's three people. Okay, standing here, person 100 kilometers that way, 100 kilometers that way, and the plane is coming directly above, and then flying above for the person on top, the zenith. To him, it seems like it's going straight. Correct?
Yeah, if he's on the equator, yeah.
Okay. Now let's take the guy on the other side, him looking now at this kind of position. Now it looks like it's coming right to left, but now it's making an arc, correct?
Yeah, it's not going straight over your head anymore.
Great. So let's go to the other guy looking the other direction. To him, it's now making a opposite arc, and it's going left to right, correct?
There are three different things you're proposing there.
Great. So that's what the sun does.
No, it's you. What you're doing.
Is the sun going directly in an arc, or is it appearing to go in an arc because of location?
Does the sun on the flat Earth go in one direction?
What is with it?
Yes.
Right. So what is it? Clockwise or anti-clockwise?
Appears
Where
based
are you
on
standing?
location.
But if it's above your head for 24 hours,
it's not above my
head. Then it has a direction.
Where it's not above my head for 24
So it
hours.
doesn't exist?
Is the equator a clockwise sun circle or an anti-clockwise sun circle?
What side of the equator are you
Just
on?
right on the equator. The bit where you can't measure an angle to a light in the sky. You know, with your
So when
flat
you're on
Earth
the
proof.
equator, it's always just simply straight line, east to west.
Okay. So is that clockwise
to be a straight line.
circle
No,
or
it's
an
a straight
anti-clockwise?
line. It's a straight line.
That
If you
is a
face
straight
east,
line.
it will come directly above and go back west. If you
So
face
where-
north, it
So
will
is
come
that
directly
is that
right
a straight
to left.
line?
If you
Is
face
that a
south, it
straight
will come
line that
directly
returns
left to
back on
right.
itself, flat side?
Guess what? No arc when you're on the equator,
Is
correct?
Is that a straight line that
No observable arc.
returns back
So
on
no
itself?
observable arc on the equator, Bev.
Is that a straight line that returns back on itself?
Not straight. It's not. You don't observe the arc because you're too low to the ground. Sorry. It only appears
How do
to
you
be
know?
straight.
You've
It's
never
not
been
Okay,
there.
exactly
then.
straight.
If it only appears to be straight,
How do you
is
know
it
where I've
a
been?
clockwise circle
How
or an
can it go clockwise
anti-clockwise
when it appears to
circle
go straight
that
to the
appears?
equator?
Right. So which one? Anti-clockwise or clockwise?
Remember, I explained the three observers
Falcon
of the
straight be
plane.
either.
Remember, I
No,
explained
is
the
it-
three
is it-
observers of the plane. That's exactly that. The equator would be the middle guy.
Is
East
it an
to west.
infinite
Is
straight
east
line?
to west, clockwise or anti-clockwise?
Again,
The line can't
So it's
be
a straight
either.
line then.
straight line.
No, it only appears
So
to
this
be a
is why
straight
I
line.
said
You can't
you
observe
get
it long enough to.
screwed
God damn it!
when
Will you let
we
me finish
see
a
the
sentence?
circles, the sun circles.
Dumbass, you can't observe the arc path of the sun at the equator because of your location. It is still only appears to be a straight line. There is the deviation back away. If you're facing one direction, it's going to appear the directions are going to switch as far as left and right are concerned. It's always going to be east to west. Always. There is no change of east to west on ever. That never changes ever. Even if you turn around 50 times, it's not going
Turn
to
around
change.
clockwise or anti-clockwise?
It doesn't matter. It's still going the same fucking direction. You are the one that changed, not the path of
Okay,
the
I want
sun.
to ask a
Is the
question.
path of
I
the
want to ask a
sun
question,
clockwise
Bev.
or
Bev, I
anti-clockwise?
want to ask you a question. What does it matter if it goes clockwise or anti-clockwise to you?
Well, they're the observations
Because
in
he's trying to
reality.
shift east to west.
They're the observations in reality.
Okay,
That's what we
so
observe
Bev,
in reality.
okay, Bev. So, are you claiming TFE was real?
Yes, the anti-clockwise sun circles is the
But you just
entire
read.
reason
You just read all places in the south. has to
Jaren
go
was
clockwise.
stuck there for.
But we just read that in the south it has to go clockwise, not anti-clockwise.
Brilliant. So you falsified that thing that you've got wrote down.
No, it shows the globe false. That's the globe claim.
Just that
I
thing
don't
that
live on a
you've got wrote
globe.
down, Flatsoid.
I don't live on a globe, Bev.
I'm not.
Oh,
I'm not
please.
making that claim. All I'm saying is
You just said TFE was right. You just said
what
TFE
we
was real. Did you not?
observe in reality.
You didn't observe shit. You saw a fake video.
I've never seen the clockwise sun circle.
Yeah, but you you talked about a sun
I
circle,
do.
but you said you were inside the circle. Then you said you're outside the circle and you've never seen a circle.
I'm not on the circle.
What circle?
I'm up the circle of the sun.
Where's
stupid.
that then? How does that work?
Wherever the sun's going.
The sun goes. Listen to me and listen to me.
Sun
And if you
goes in a
interrupt me, I'm
circle.
gonna urge Flat.
Well, we're gonna have
just
to end
fucking
anyway. We've actually
can
gone over my time.
Okay. The reality of it is the sun goes in almost like a spiral, okay, between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn.
Clockwise or
Okay.
anti-clockwise?
Every 3 months, it's directly over the equator. When it reaches the tropic, it begins its journey back the other direction. It's always east to west. It never changes. It doesn't matter if you're standing on your head, if you're facing south, if you're facing north. It does not fucking matter. It's still going from east
Do you
to
put
west.
north at the center?
That's all.
Do you put
What's that?
north at the center?
Well, of course. Where in the hell else would it be?
Okay. So you have a model.
What do you think? It's directly toward the center of the earth in the middle of a ball? Why does my compass not
And
point
if you
down?
went out to the extremities on the circumference of this sun circle, right? Would you expect the sun to circle you also? No. Well, that was TFE.
I would expect it to ant-arc away from me.
That's what the entire TFE was, to take Jaren somewhere on the extremity of the sun circle, like you've just described, and
The
show
Amazon
him
studio
the
is not
circle.
on
You
the
have,
extremities of the
you have no
earth.
evidence of that at all. It's just your claim because you
I
can't
do.
cope with the
There's
sun,
plenty.
Sob.
No,
You
no,
don't
no,
know about
no.
the sun,
They faked
and you
it
need to make
and
it
they
up.
lied.
Yeah.
You mean hold on. Let me ask you a question. Are you so dim-witted that you think that after over a century of having people in Antarctica, right? NASA actually having a station down there, that nobody has been able to provide a credible 24-hour sun until Jaron and Vapes It went down there with some financial scammer that came out of nowhere. That solved it all right there for you, because that's how
And they
dim-witted you
still
are.
haven't provided 24-hour footage.
They didn't provide any
That's
24-hour footage. They cut the feed when the sun would have set, and then they removed the goddamn feed
Let's
off
get
of Rumble.
Roger there, right? Let's get Roger and run Boston Bear and.
Why don't we get you down there?
I'm
and
a
then
carer.
leave you?
What I find really odd is the guys that aren't trying to advocate for a globe is literally trying to advocate for the globe in the same breath.
Well, you know, with your center at the with your north-centric, concentric latitude system, you do derive the equator, don't you?
From pole star.
Okay,
Yeah.
so at what point on the flat Earth does the equator become a straight line on the
It
ground?
doesn't. It only appears to be going in a straight line. It appears as a straight line, the same as a slightly curved road can appear
if you drive a
straight
highway,
to you. The curve,
exactly. So if you drive a large highway that's long, to you it
So
looks
that
like
creates
it's
a
straight, but you're
problem.
taking a slight curve.
Amazing, isn't it?
The latitudes are circles.
Concentric circles, yes.
Yeah, not straight line.
Circle of equal altitudes. It's simple.
They are perpendicular, so that's right.
Yeah,
latitude and longitude are perpendicular.
No, they're not.
And that's how you get an angle to a curve, isn't it?
The latitudes literally splay apart from one another.
Yeah,
As you go
that's
south.
how
The longitude, wait. The longitude is just azimuths, okay?
Or the longitude.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
the longitude is just azimuth. The latitudes are just based on the distance to the pole star.
Perpendicular.
No,
it's the flat Earth.
No, they're not
perpendicular. They're on the
perpendicular.
same plane.
How could they even be perpendicular on a ball? They can't.
So you saying that north, south, east, and west aren't perpendicular?
No, that's cardinal direction.
No, what?
90 degrees, right?
On the same
right
plane.
angles.
It's cardinal direction on the same plane, Bev.
So that's an angle then, right?
What are you?
Not a
north, south, east, and west.
It's magnetic. It's
cardinal
magnetic directions. It's literal cardinal directions. What you talking about angles now?
They're perpendicular to each
What
other.
angles are you talking about? It's literally magnetic
The right
direction.
angle.
Cardinal.
The bearing. If you were bearing of east, it would be 90 degrees.
Magnetic. What?
No, just a bearing.
That's not even north.
No. No. Listen, the latitude lines are concentric circles.
Longitudes are based on azimuth on the horizontal.
Are lines
That's
coming
called
from
the flat Earth.
They're lines
Latitude
coming
are east and west.
Yes.
Circles, though. So one way is clockwise and the other way is anti-clockwise on those circles. So
That's
one
right.
way is east
Right.
and the other way is west.
Right.
But you
That's
say the
right.
sun goes from east to west.
Yes.
But east
That's
is
correct.
a clockwise circle and west is an anti-clockwise circle. So where does the sun go from clockwise to anti-clockwise? Where does that occur?
Well, the direction of the sun never changes. Only your orientation to it does.
Yeah, but you have a problem the moment you make.
No, I don't have any. You're the one that has a problem. You're the only one that's having a problem.
Problem.
Apparently,
No,
you do.
I may
because
have
you don't understand that the direction of
may
the
have
sun
spotted the
never
problem.
changes. Your orientation to that direction is what changes.
We spotted
Remember,
this
like
problem quite a
Sav
long
explained.
time
Remember,
ago.
like Sav explained earlier with the car and the road. It's exactly that. The car goes exactly the same direction. Your location gives its direction. It's just perception.
It's your orientation is all going to depend on whether it goes from your right to your left or your left to your right. It has no bearing on the actual direction that the sun is going.
It's north at the center. That's your problem.
North of the center? How can you
No,
be north
I
of the
said
center when the
because-
center is dead nuts
Because
north?
you've
Anyway, away
placed north at the center.
Right.
That's where you're.
So anything away from that is going to be south.
But you don't know where south is.
Every direction.
Every direction going away from north is south. No matter what direction you go,
sound crazy?
if you try, listen, and no matter what direction you go, if you dead reckon and do a straight line, don't use a compass, use a straight line, you will end up going south.
Think about it. Where can you go where east and west disappear and the only direction
don't.
Who said that would disappear?
Who
when
said
you're
they
at
disappear?
every
The North Pole.
direction south, where's east and west?
The sun, you still see the sun in the South
Now,
Pole.
where could you go?
We're not talking
Where
about
could you
the sun
go?
now.
So
there's
it
only
still goes
south.
east to west.
You'd have to go to your center.
Which direction is east or west if south is every direction?
No,
South is just
you're going
opposite
to
from
end
north.
up going south. I said every. See,
You
this
said
is why
every
I don't know if
direction
you're
away
just
from
stupid or
north is
dishonest.
south.
Are you just stupid or
Where's
dishonest?
east and west?
I said every direction
From
away from north.
All right,
is
so
south.
stand at the North Pole, Sov. Where's east
Yeah.
and west?
There are circles around that going in. It's either going to be clockwise direction or a
Where would you point?
counterclockwise direction.
Would you point
Yeah.
south?
Where would you point?
Well, yeah, you would end up
You'd have
pointing
to point south,
Any
because every
line
direction
away
is
from
south.
north,
So
any
both
line,
east and
listen,
west,
east and
any
west.
direction is south.
any line away from north is going to end
So
up.
Or
any
east or
line,
west.
any line,
East or
any
west as well, not just south.
So any line away from
Show
north,
me where a latitude. Show me where the latitude intersects the North Pole.
anywhere away from north is south, east, and west at the same time.
No. So where does east and west intersect at the
Everywhere
North
Both
Pole?
south.
different circles. You just told us. One's clockwise.
Wait
the
a
other
second. I
one's
just asked you a question. Where
So
does
it's the
east and
same
west
circle, really.
intersect?
There's different directions.
Where do they
on it,
intersect?
apparently.
Where do they intersect with the North Pole?
The cardinal directions, aren't they?
They don't intersect with the North Pole. They are
Takes a special
concentric
mind to
circles
put north at
going
the center,
away from the
really.
North
You shouldn't really
Pole
do it.
based on
if you're listening,
your observation
don't
of
attempt this
Polaris. I'm
experiment.
going to keep talking over you until you shut
Do you
your
know what that's
fucking
called,
mouth.
Sov? Do you,
And I will continue to talk over you until
do you know
I'm
what it's
done.
called, what you're describing?
Do you know that?
Do
I'm
you
just going to
know what it's
continue
called,
until
what
you
you're
let.
describing?
No more
You
questions
say
until you
nothing.
acknowledge my
You know,
answer.
At least to make
No
No
something
more
up. Come on.
questions until you
Make a
acknowledge
song
my
up while
answer.
you're doing
Are
it.
you ready to acknowledge my answer?
Yeah, it's the cardinal directions.
Are you ready to acknowledge my answer?
Make it good. Come on. You've got had a bit of time to think about it.
North, east and west do not intersect with north. So your question is retarded. Okay.
Can you
Any
do the same
direction
with
of
south?
I am still talking. Any direction that you decide to go away from north is going to lead south. Whether you decide to start going south by southwest or south by north,
What?
south
by
whatever, south by east, whichever fucking way you decide to go.
South by south,
a
is it?
straight line. Hey, you rude little son of a bitch! Shut the fuck up.
It was,
You said
it
there
was
was
on a
no
good
east and
You
west.
understand? I'm
There's
not
only
going. I'm not
south.
going to let you say another word.
You don't
You
understand.
understand that I'm not going to let you
Don't
say another
understand.
word at all.
Well, which way do you turn to
Yeah,
go?
you
Which,
I'm not going to
which
let you say
direction?
another word. I'm going to answer your question, and it's going to be concise because you're going to shut your pie hole and you're going to listen.
Go on then.
You cannot understand the answer if you're busy
Very
scrambling,
educate us.
figuring out what the fuck to say while I'm in the
Educate us. Go
middle
on.
of the answer. Okay? East and west never intersect north. Okay? They never intersect north.
Yeah.
You have to
So-
go away from north in order to get your latitudes. Your
You intersect
latitude.
north-south.
I am still
perpendicularly.
talking, you rude son of a bitch.
So where's east?
I'm not done with my previous answer. Write your question down or try to remember it. You're
Can
the
you,
one that's
can you
making
put
the
the other
answer.
cardinal
You're
directions
the
at
one
the
that's
center
making
as well?
the answer take a long time to be able to give.
Mentally,
Okay? Because you rudely interrupt with your little barrage of questions in the middle of while I'm answering. Okay?
Can you put east at the
That's
center?
what I'm trying to get through is the answer to your other question, but
about
you
west?
cannot stay silent long enough in order for me to give it. Once
Sorry,
again,
Dan.
I
South
will
at the
All right,
center
Dan.
as
okay,
well,
I'm
Tom.
going to have to start completely over now. Okay?
Oh,
Not again.
Okay, I'm
We
going
know
to start
south's
complete.
away
No,
from
no, no,
north.
no, no. You did
Elder
this.
Bear,
You did this.
Yeah, I'm
You
sorry.
did this. Okay? You did this.
You did
But he
it.
said there was no east or west.
I did not say there was no east or west.
He
I
said there was
said
only
they
south
don't
from north.
intersect at the north.
So if you wanted to go east, you could only go south by south.
You would have to go south in order to start going east in the first place. You would have to follow a circle based on your compass reading of north in order
You
to
know,
continue east
but
or
this is a
west.
mute
Right,
argument
so
because
if
you know
you
why
went,
this is a mute argument anyway. Even
so if
on a
you're at
globe,
north, if
even
you're
on a
at north,
globe, if you're at the North Pole or South Pole, every direction away from that is either south or north. So it's exactly the
yeah,
same
but what would happen
on
if you
your
went south and you found
globe.
you were at west and not
West of
east?
what? West of what?
Yeah, I think I
that's
made
it.
an
You're
argument
going
about this.
south.
West of
How
what,
are you going
though?
to find east if
Cognitive
you're going south?
dissonance check, I call
Well,
it.
east is real easy. Your compass direction from north, it will be to your right if you're facing north. That will be east. Then what you want to do is you want to turn 90
Where is
degrees
north?
to your right. Hold on. You turn 90 degrees to your right and you start in that direction. Now,
You
what
say
will
it doesn't
happen is if you
intersect at the north.
continue on in a straight line,
You
you
say
will
it doesn't
stop.
intersect.
You
There
will
is no
start
east
to
and
go
west.
south. You will
It's only
start to go
south.
south if you go in a straight line. So you
So
have to
heading east.
continuously make course corrections based on where
How?
north is at on your compass
How do you make course corrections, Sov?
by turning.
By measuring an angle to a curve.
No, by going by what your north heading is and going 90 degrees to that
But
point.
it isn't 90 degrees.
No, that's a
No,
straight
it's
line,
not.
right?
It's a circle.
That's a
You said
You're
perpendicular.
on the
east and
right
west is a
track.
90 degrees on
So what
azimuth.
happens is, as far as you're concerned, your point on the earth is 90 degrees from there. But to
Points aren't
continue
90
to
degrees.
stay
You
at
can't
that
have a
90
point
degree
angle, Sov.
is
Yeah, but to navigate that,
you
Yeah, you
can't.
can't have
that.
a point
You
angle.
can't. Then how did they get the? If you can't have a point angle, how did they get the latitudes?
Latitude and longitude are perpendicular. I told you that earlier.
How did they get the latitudes? What were the latitudes derived from? Where did they get these numbers?
Don't
Where
know.
did
In
they
the
come
UK,
from?
we have a grid system.
I understand what
How
you
do you
have in
get
the
an
UK. I
azimuth
don't give a
bearing,
shit.
Sov?
Where do you think
Sov,
they got the
how do you get an
latitudes
azimuth
from?
bearing,
Where did
Sov?
where did the latitudes
In
come
America,
from?
right, you have northings and eastings.
He asked a simple question, Bev.
Yeah, I'm trying to
I
explain,
asked a
right,
simple
what
question.
we have in the UK.
No, they're not different in America. They're not
So
different
they're
in
northings
America.
and
Okay,
eastings.
we don't have metric latitude.
So
We don't
you
have
have
metric latitude and
northings and
standard
eastings,
latitude.
and they are
What
perpendicular.
is the latitudes? What were the latitudes derived from?
Northeast being perpendicular.
Pole star.
What? An angle, a measurement
pole
to an
star.
angle in the sky.
Elevation
now
angles
you're
of a
onto it.
horizontal plane.
Now
Okay.
you got it.
Then you got 69 miles.
Yeah. 69 miles between each degree, right? So
Yeah.
if you do 90
That's
of
statute
them,
miles, yes.
yeah, then you've got
Remember, they did this with
you've
they
got
did
a
this in
distance.
nautical miles, so it's
Okay,
times
all
60,
right.
not times 69.
No,
Yeah,
just
well,
to
it's
let you know.
69 miles actual statute
It's
miles.
actually nautical. It was derived in nautical miles.
No, you
miles.
changed it to nautical, right? Let's keep it.
No,
in
it was derived in
actual.
nautical
It was
miles.
measured.
It was derived in
measured.
nautical miles.
It was measured
It was
on the
derived in
land.
nautical miles.
Flatsoid.
It was
69 miles.
derived in nautical miles because you
Yeah,
don't
right.
have land masses all over.
5,400 nautical miles of.
We have a distance of 69 miles in between
That's
a
miles.
degree. In
Okay,
the UK.
great. Tell me this then, Elderberry. How do you measure 69 miles in the middle of the fucking
that was
ocean.
my
You've
point.
done it on the land.
Yesterday, Flatsoid said that it was nautical miles.
You don't. That's
Shut
why
up,
it's
Sob,
based
I'm
on
talking.
elevation
Shut
angle
up
to
before you have a heart attack.
Polaris.
Flatsoid said yesterday it was nautical miles because it's over water, and then he claimed 5,400 nautical miles. So, and that 5,400 nautical miles is not all water.
Are you
is
claiming
it?
you can't measure nautical mile on land?
Well, that's what was said to you, and you said it was on water.
You
just
said
stuck
the
to water.
latitudes were derived in nautical miles of the ocean.
Yeah,
and
it's
that
just
is
an angle
69
measurement
statute
flat
miles.
Yeah, 69 statute miles, but the math is done
How
with
did you?
nautical
All
miles.
right. So how did you get 5,400 nautical miles then?
By using the latitude math.
And the latitude is in reference to what?
To elevation angles from Polaris.
So if you're at 90 with Polaris at your zenith,
then you had 0.
All right,
right
and
on
you
it.
move
Right
away. You
So
move
you're literally
away.
on 0. Wow.
It's at 90. It's your zenith.
90 means it's 0. If you're
and
looking
you-
directly 90 up, you're literally under the pole star.
All right.
Yes,
and you
zenith,
move.
that's what he's talking about.
Zenith, and
So
you
that'll
move
be
a-
0 latitude.
And you move away 1 degree.
Mm,
You traveled how many
80
miles?
degrees. Well done.
1 degree, 89.
89.
So
Okay, move on till you get to 10 and you
All
get to
right,
80.
and how many
Yes.
miles? So hang on. How many miles have we traveled then in that 1 degree? What does that?
69 miles.
Flat Earth miles.
No, that's statute. You move
Flat.
60
They're flat
nautical
miles,
miles.
though, because you said it was an
There's
elevation.
no such thing as flat Earth miles.
Yeah, you
miles
said
is
it has to
miles,
be
no matter
flat
what the
because it's
shape
an
is.
Miles. Where do you guys get this, guys? Where's your flat Earth physics? Physics is physics. It has
What's the
nothing to
angle?
do with the shape of the goddamn world.
Is it measured flat? Is that 69 miles? Is that measured flat?
Yes.
Right. So it's flat
It's an
miles.
elevation
then.
angle.
It's flat
Oh,
Earth
God.
miles, okay? 69
No, it's not flat Earth miles.
straight
It's just miles.
Yeah, measured on the flat Earth, and it proves the flat Earth elevation angles and
It's
all
an
that.
elevation angle. Do you know how
Okay.
elevation angles work?
We get it.
All right, we get that. So then you move another
You're
one.
acting like a flat Earth was assumed.
Uh-uh.
Stop that.
So when you
stop.
move to a point
Knock it
where
off.
shut up. When you move
No,
to
you
a
shut
point
up.
where Polaris
Because you're the
is
one
disappearing,
assuming something else.
when you get to a point where Polaris is disappearing below the horizon, then you are at the equator, right?
Yeah.
5,400
And that
nautical
will
miles
have
away.
been 91 degree measurements to Polaris.
Okay, and your point is?
And so 90 times 69 is 6,210 flat miles.
That's statute miles. We literally
Yes.
talking about nautical miles. Do you understand what nautical miles are?
Yeah,
but they're measured flat miles, remember?
What is wrong with these people?
What difference does it
Oh
make?
my God.
5,000.
Did you guys go to? Did you guys go to school after school? I mean, did you guys
So
go
that-
to like
that's a
college or something?
radius, right? Of
Did
your
you guys, I'm curious.
north
Did you guys go to school?
equator.
Shut up, Sov.
You did?
We're doing some maths now, Sov.
Hold on, wait a second. Wait a second. I'm asking you. Did you guys go to school
did,
after your high school? After
Yes.
high school, did you? You
Yes,
did.
went to
Okay,
university,
listen.
yes.
Go get your
Went to
fucking
teacher
money
training.
back. Go get your money back because they really did a number on your mind. They really did.
There you go. There you go.
There you
What's
go,
the
here we
difference
go.
between nautical miles and statute miles then, Sov?
Nautical miles are based on observation. Statute miles are based on physical measurements.
Yeah, of an angle to Polaris, eh?
No.
So there's a difference between calculation and measurement.
My odometer on my car has nothing to do with fucking Polaris, okay? Nothing
isn't
to
that-
do. It
isn't-
physically measures miles. Nautical miles were calculated based on observation.
You just said that when I moved 1 degree away from Polaris, it was 69
You're going south.
miles.
You're going
69
south.
miles. You said.
When you move 1
You
degree
said
away from
69
it,
miles.
Go in
correct?
any direction away from the south, like you said earlier.
any
That's
direction
south.
away from north is south.
Right, okay. So as long as you're moving in that direction, which isn't one direction, it's every direction away from there.
Any direction away from the
Right.
pole is going
Yes.
south.
And you do it, you do that 90 times. You have a distance that you're going to make the circumference of that circle. You're going to call that latitude the equator.
Concentric circles. Don't forget.
Right.
Yes.
So that's
Now,
the
if
What
you,
other kind of circles could they be?
if you go to that place that you've just made as a circle, and you can witness for yourself the stars, lights in the sky, going in a straight line.
I witnessed them going in what appears to me, from my angle of perspective, a straight line, but in reality, it is a very, very large arc.
Yes, but on one side of this straight line, it's going one way, and on the other, it's going the other way. So you do actually
not
have
going the
two
other way.
circles.
They're going the same direction. It's just whether you're turned one way or the other.
No, you're looking
just
at
like
the
my
straight line
example
of
with
light
the road.
in the
It's
sky
just like my example with the stars or the car going down the road.
No.
It's
You want
still
this to
going the
be
same direction. The only thing that has changed is your orientation to that
It's
object.
all right. Flats always
line
doing the
to be
maths.
curved.
Flats is doing the maths for us. It's okay. Just hang on.
Well, that's all right. He can do the math while we talk.
Here's a
You
flat
know,
earth.
guys,
What
is it? Why do you guys get such a boner over
Circumference.
math? Why do you guys get such a boner over
Because you're
math?
going to find out that your circumference of the equator is different.
It
They
may
don't
very
understand.
well be.
Wait,
How
they
do you
don't
know what
understand.
the equator size is? How do you know what it is?
It's
Have
what
you
it's
ever- have
claimed
you
to be.
measured
I
it?
know what it's
Have
claimed
you
to
measured
be.
it?
I know what it's claimed to be.
Okay, you know what it's claimed to be.
I
So
know
do
what
we.
I know what
So
the
do
flat
we.
earthers are going to claim
is
it
it
to
then?
be
So
also.
do we.
Sov, what is it?
Which means you don't have any proof either. Do you understand that?
I've
No.
not
You don't
claimed
have
measurement.
any lick of proof.
I've
No,
not claimed
because
measurement.
because
To a
what
straight
they
line.
claim, if what they
If it's a
claim
straight
does
line.
not match the math, then
Doesn't
their
make any
claim is
sense.
wrong. Is that correct?
No, we
I think we
can
agreed
only,
earlier that it's impossible to explain.
we're only talking about the flat earth here, right?
What's impossible to explain?
The circles, the counter-rotational
There we
circles and the
go.
straight
There
Well, it's
we
not
line.
go.
impossible to explain. It's just impossible for you to understand.
Okay,
Sounds
so maybe
too-
they don't understand. Okay,
We'll wait for you to explain.
so
it.
so is the distance exactly the same in nautical mile and statute miles?
No, because it's a different. Because
There's
it's a
only
There we go.
one
It's
different
exactly the
distance,
same.
isn't there?
It's
There's
exactly
only
the
one
same
distance, isn't there?
They don't know what nautical mile. They don't know that a nautical mile is.
No, they
different
don't
than a
understand. They don't
They don't
understand.
know.
It's just
You don't
a
understand.
unit system.
Oh,
Thank you, Mr. Jingles, for your £2. You rock for your super chat. He really says, just so you can speak, Keith. Thank you very much. Appreciate the super chat, Mr. Jingles. Appreciate all the support.
So a flat Earth radius. of
Nautical miles is just an angular
6,214 miles. Eh?
No, nautical miles is a unit, just as the statute miles is a
an
unit.
angle.
It's the
Yeah,
same
it's flat.
distance.
It's flat.
It's the
then,
same
so
distance.
It's flat, isn't it? Flat,
Same
sorry.
distance.
It's flat
So
from
what's
the
your
North Pole to the
wait?
equator,
I want to
isn't
know
it?
what
Flat,
is your
sorry.
issue with the same distance?
It's flat from the North Pole to
Is
the
it because you
equator.
think the 6214 is bigger than the 544?
Flat.
Five
So
foot,
what,
it doesn't
matter.
what's the circumference?
There it is on screen. 5
What's the
That's it,
circumference
that's
of
1,480
your?
miles.
What's the circumference of the measured flat equator, please?
It's literally on screen.
Go on then. No, it's not.
No,
that's
that's not the
radius.
circumference. That's the radius.
It's a radius, so it's
Circumference of the,
10,800 nautical miles.
No,
What?
you do it. Do
No,
your
that's-
calculation. Go on, Google.
No, that would be.
It's
What, you're
times
talking
2.
about the diameter.
2 pi
That's
r.
the
2 pi
diameter.
r flat side.
Diameter
Pi
is
r.
the
That's not the
circumference.
circumference. No, the diameter isn't the circumference.
What's the circumference then, according to you on the flat Earth?
2 pi r. Do your calculation.
Go on. No, you guys are the ones saying it's wrong. So go on.
I'm not
You
saying
can- you
it's
just
wrong.
did this
I'm just
online.
saying,
Go
do you
ahead.
know what the circumference of the
Go
flat,
ahead.
measured flat Earth equator
Go ahead.
is?
You tell us, Bev. You're the one saying it's wrong. So go ahead. Tell us.
Pi D. Go on, off you go. Do your best.
No, I'm waiting for
Diameter.
you.
You
You're
know,
saying
you
it's
can do
wrong.
the maths. Surely.
You guys don't know the difference. You guys think nautical miles and statute miles are two different distances. So
You're talking about the radius. You said you hadn't got a radius, but we've established you have a
I'd
radius.
say I'd have a rough guess about 39,000 miles. or something.
39,018 miles.
There you go. 18. I was 18 off.
See, let me show you what you're doing. Let me show you what you're doing. I just measured this in standard U.S. Units. This pack of cigarettes, and it
Can
came
you
up.
calculate what the circumference of the measured flat Earth equator is?
Listen.
For a
It
laugh.
came up. Listen. It came to 3 1/4 inches. Okay, that's like you. And then somebody comes along and says, "No, it's not. it's 0.0825 meters.
What were you measuring?
A pack of cigarettes. Right here. I use the same
but-
thing. Okay,
but
now
it's
I'm measuring it in English units with an English tape measure, and it came up to 3.25 inches in standard English measurement, right? And now what you're doing is going, no, it's 0.08255 meters.
No, I'd say it's a quarter.
No, Sov. We are using the measurements that you just went through. 1 degree, 69 miles. For 90 degrees from the North Pole.
Miles.
Yes,
statute miles are not nautical miles, dipshit.
I know that, but you've
well,
already
then
said
what is your malfunction then?
1 degree equals 69 miles. 90, 69.
Statute miles or nautical
You
miles?
you just said 69 with statute miles, dipshit.
All right, it's statute miles. Okay, so now let's convert it. Let's convert that over into nautical miles.
Why?
It's the same. It's exactly the same.
It's the same.
It's exactly the same, isn't it?
Yeah, and so what?
The same distance. All we did was change our unit of measurement. That's all we did. How many meters? If we measure it in meters, is that now different? No, it's the same length in meters, isn't it?
It doesn't matter because
it's the same distance in kilometers and miles. Because the distance didn't fucking change,
did it? The globe one, isn't it?
What?
Your circumference of the equator is the same as the circumference of the equator on the globe.
Okay.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Okay, so do the maths.
Can one of you do the maths for the circumference? There you go.
Come on, what's the
33?
circumference?
Are you sure, Flatsoid? 33?
Mm-hmm.
Is that just one of flat 33s?
No, it's 39.
I thought it was 39. My guess was about 39.
You see, they don't know. This.
Solve. What's the circumference?
39.
Solve. What's the radius of the globe in nautical miles?
No, look at those two numbers he has there.
Exactly the same distance.
Right? It's the same distance. They're the same distance.
All right. So what is the radius?
I can't believe you guys think these
Shut
are
up,
two different
Flatsoid.
distances.
Radius.
Do you think these are two different distances?
No.
You guys think these are two different distances?
What's
Same
the globe
distance,
in comparison?
different unit.
You got a challenge on.
So guess what this shows, guys?
What's
on the globe?
Math. Wait. So guess what this shows? The flat Earth math you're claiming comports with reality, correct?
I don't think so. It's not claimed to be.
That's weird.
Flatsoid. What is 3959 in nautical miles? It's not 6,210. 3959 in nautical miles. What's that?
35 what?
395. You know the number, Sob. Don't be a dick.
3959. Okay.
In nautical miles.
What you said in nautical miles? Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Nautical miles. That's 3,440.
3,440.
Oh, and yet the flat Earth one is 5,400. That's strange. And you both have the same circumference, apparently.
Where'd you get that number from? 5,000.
Flatsoid cave is 5,400. The antenna man.
3959.
395 man's the globe.
The whole globe.
Radius.
Yeah.
No, it's the radius.
Newsflash. The equator's size is the same on both.
Okay, so the radius should be the same.
Whoa. Are you saying that 39,000 miles is the
Earth radius? It's the Earth radius.
Is that? Have you never tried to do any maths before?
We're doing it right in front of you right now.
I know. Is this the first time you've ever done this?
Wait.
Listen, audience.
Wait, you know
for all you out in YouTube land, are you watching this? Are you looking at these numbers on the screen?
Wait.
Now they think these numbers are the same as the globe numbers.
Cut you up so you can listen because I want to go sleep. Okay. The 3959 is the radius of the whole globe. This 5,400 nautical miles is only the equatorial radius. It's half the Earth. Do you understand that?
Damn.
I understand how the maths works, Flatsoid.
You guys literally think miles and miles, nautical miles of this are different.
The radius from the center, of the Earth. Listen.
Wait. Is the 9359 the whole globe or just to the equator?
It's a radius.
Both radius to the equator.
Oh, and this equator radius here, is it just the equator or is it the whole flat Earth?
It's the flat Earth equator.
Yeah, it's the
It's only the equator. So it's only half the Earth.
But Sov just said
bigger
that there's Sov
already.
said that the circumference of the equator on both models would be the same.
If
Yes,
I took
the equator on your Earth is the
It's
equator on the globe is
17
5,400 nautical miles.
17,000 miles bigger.
The equator on the globe is 5,400 nautical
Your
miles.
flat Earth equator is 17,000
No, it's
miles bigger.
It's
No,
there
it's
on the screen.
5,400 nautical miles.
Let
It's
me
there
ask
on the
you something.
screen.
If I took a hula hoop
You
and fitted
serious?
it down,
Never
listen
done
to
this
me,
before.
listen to me.
Get out.
Listen, if I
Come
took a
on,
hula hoop and I put it
guys.
around a basketball, okay, and it fits right around the middle of the basketball, and then I take it off and I put it on the floor, did its size change? No, it's still the same fucking size. What are you going on about?
Yeah, and the center point to that
It's
circle.
all it is the demarcation of where the sun's center of.
But there's more land on a
is
flat
at.
Earth,
That's all.
obviously.
Yeah.
You've got
That's all.
17,000 miles more, and
Why
that's
would
at
the radius?
equator. Yours only gets bigger after that, doesn't it?
Why would the radius be different then, Sov? Why would the radius be different?
It does get bigger after that. It
But
does
the
get
radius,
bigger after that.
the radius
Okay.
on the basketball and the radius on the hula hoop
Yeah.
are pretty much the
Solve the
same,
thing
but
is
the
They
hula hoop's
are
slightly
the
bigger.
same. I didn't change anything except
Solve,
taking
you
it off
see-
of the fucking
All right.
hula
So
hoop.
if the
Solve-
circumference is the same, Sov, at the equator, then the
Yeah.
radius
You
should
see,
be
they-
the
Well, the
same too.
equator's not
Problem.
the edge of the earth, dumbass.
Okay, Solve, their problem is they can't distinguish the difference between a plane and a 3D object.
But it's the same place when you get to your equator that you're seeing the sun go from east to west,
Okay, what's it saying the globe's equator radius is?
isn't it?
6,378
It's
kilometers.
the same equator you're talking about.
3,963
The
miles.
same flat Earth
Let's
equator as
repeat-
the globe equator.
wait. Huh? There we go.
This
the
is
same.
bad. This is bad, guys.
That's
you
a radius.
should have done this before.
Yes, that's
Jesus,
the radius.
man, what a shambles
That's the
you are.
radius. He just
There we
showed
go.
you.
It's the
Because
radius.
no
There we
wonder,
go.
no
That's
wonder
the
they're
radius.
laughing at you lot. No wonder
It's
they're
literally
laughing
on
at you.
screen,
You make the
Aldabair.
flat
Nobody's
earthers look
laughing.
stupid.
No one's
It's
You make the
laughing.
flat
literally
earthers
on-
look stupid.
Wait,
You're,
wait.
you're a
Aldabair.
shambles
It's
and a
literally-
sorry little bunch.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
I had to mute him. So
Yeah,
let's
he's
put it this way.
panicking.
Aldabair and Bev is too retarded to understand it says radius at the equator is 639, which is exactly the same as the flat Earth.
Kilometers and miles aren't the same.
Oh
Flat Earth.
my
Oh
word.
my fucking god.
They're the same distance as you, moron.
No, 6,000 kilometers isn't the same distance as 6,000 miles.
Where does it go?
6,000
6,000 miles.
It says 6,200 miles there. Flatsoid, he's got it highlighted.
6,300 kilometers is the same as 3,900 miles, which
Yeah,
is the
and
same size as
3,900 isn't the same as 6,200.
You're saying if I travel 6,378 kilometers, it's not the same as traveling 3,963.
No, I'm
kilometers.
saying
Miles.
3,900, right, is not the same as 6,200. Which
That's
is
because one's in
exactly
kilometers and
what
one's in miles,
measured.
stupid. One's
No,
in kilometers, one's in miles.
Flatsoid wrote miles. Go back to your other one,
let me do it
Flatsoid.
this way.
Go right back to your other one now.
I'm
Come
going
on.
to get a ruler quickly for you.
Get your other one out on screen, Flatsoid.
Oh, you got that
because
on screen.
You're
Quickly show
mistaking
him- quickly
kilometers
show him
with
on screen,
miles,
Rolf.
obviously.
Show him quickly on screen both units of measure on that.
No, don't, not
tape.
boob, man. Not the
See
fucking
that?
adult with the boob
This
top
is-
on. Come on.
Listen to me. Listen to me. You see this
Sorry,
right here?
guys, fucking
Where
tell
I've got
me
my
no.
finger at is 1 foot, 12 inches. Okay. Now, how much is that in metric? Let's look. Let's see. I'm going to change this over to inches. I'm going to put in.
Flatsoid, go back to your other
1,
screen that
2.
said
I'm gonna say
6,200
12
miles.
inches. Okay, so
Come
now
on.
listen.
Be honest about this.
Hold on. You're about
Flatsoid.
to learn something.
Come on.
Okay, so
It is
12
recorded.
inches, hold
It is-
on,
it is
12
recorded.
inches is 30.48 centimeters. Does that mean that it's bigger if it's in centimeters? No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that at all. In fact, it's converted into 1 foot. Hey, how about this? It's
60 inches isn't the same as
0.00305
60
kilometers.
centimeters, is
Okay,
it?
so does that mean that if it's in kilometers, it's a
It's like
smaller
Flatzoid
distance?
thinks that 6,300 kilometers is the same as 6,200 miles.
Never said that.
Yeah, go back to your screen, Flatzoid. The one that says the measured flat Earth equator, radius, 6,200 miles, not 3,959 miles.
Do you think that you're getting more if you buy a liter or if you buy a gallon?
I think you're getting confused here.
No, I think you're getting confused. I don't think
I'm
you
not
understand
confused
that,
at all. I know.
that it doesn't matter.
I've actually worked this argument out.
Listen,
right?
shut
I'm
the
the
fuck
one with
up
an
for
argument.
a 2nd.
No,
God
okay.
damn, you're an irritating little bastard. The equator, okay, is only the place, the center point of where the fucking sun's traverse track is at, between the two tropics. It's the midpoint between the two extremes. That's all. And guess what? It's the same.
Flatzoid's already wrote down 39,000 miles.
Fucking
You
size.
can't get out of that.
It's
You can't get out of it.
the same
Flatzoid
size,
wrote
you
it down.
desperate little
It's the
troll. I
same
will keep
size, you
talking over you. It's the same. I don't know what your problem understanding that is. The equator is going to be the same size. The only thing that's going to be different from what we have on a globe is going to be your Tropic of Capricorn. Now, that will be much bigger than what is claimed. So I don't understand what your problem is with this thing with the equator. I don't know how you don't understand how concentric circles work.
Exactly the same.
I'm just trying to point out to you that your flat Earth, your measured flat Earth circumference of the equator,
You don't measure
bigger.
those things. Hold on. You don't measure those things.
Bigger.
Those are
Flatzoid's just done
calculated.
it. Yeah,
Those are
Flatzoid's just done it.
calculated. They're not measured.
Are you saying that 69 miles isn't measured?
No, it's calculated. Do you think somebody walked and counted their steps or used a
Yeah,
wheel
I
or
think they
something?
measured the land. Yes.
No.
Yes.
They measured,
Yes, they
they
measured the
used
land. They mapped the
observation
land.
and
In the UK, we
calculation.
definitely
No. They used observation and
First order
calculation
measurements.
based on observation. It's not a physical measurement. You cannot physically measure any place on the ocean.
No, not on the ocean.
That's
on the
right.
land.
And how many thirds of the earth is ocean?
How many times do you need to move 69 miles to measure an angle?
How do you know if you move 69 miles in the Pacific Ocean?
You don't. On
Yeah,
land,
you do. Yeah,
which
you
is
do.
already
Yeah, you do.
measured.
Yeah, you do. You
What
do it based on observation, observation, and calculation.
In reality, you map
I
the
am
land.
talking about reality.
Then you can go and measure an angle to a light in the sky
Yes,
everywhere.
that's called
Then you
called
can
a
make-
calculation, not a physical
What, just a
measurement.
measurement? What, a measurement isn't a measurement?
This
Measurement of an angle.
this is a fucking physical measurement. This thing
Yeah, and-
takes physical
and
measurement.
If you measure an angle, is that a measurement?
I have to calculate that angle, don't I?
You have to measure the angle.
You
You
calculate
don't calculate it.
Okay,
you
well, how do you
measure it.
measure? Let me ask you something. How do you measure something you can't physically touch?
What, an angle? You
There
get
you
an angle
go.
measuring
And so is
tool.
that angle really there, or is it a perceived line of sight to an object?
It's an angle measurement.
It's a perceived line of sight to an object.
Okay,
the
so
line,
measurement of
the
an angle.
line,
So
the
Bev,
line,
let's try this
the
again
line
quickly.
is not really there.
Let's
don't
try
know
this
what
again
you're trying to
quickly because
do
I
here.
really have to go sleep, guys.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I think I'd sleep well, flat.
so Bev,
Try and
so
forget
Bev-
about this, right?
why? You're the one that doesn't understand that nautical miles is the same distance as statute miles, which is the same distance as kilometers. They're just units. These are all the same distances.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but
your,
what? They're the same
your
distance.
circumference of 39,000 miles isn't the same as the claimed one on the globe.
Is 2 pints of paint the same as 2
That's
litres of
not
paint?
the claimed circumference of the equator on the globe, Flatside.
Is cutting a piece of timber 60 inches the same as a piece of timber 60 centimetres?
Just try Googling it now. What is the claimed circumference of the equator on the globe?
24,000.
Right,
miles.
and now is
25,000 miles.
Yeah, is 24,000 anything like 39,000? You can't just be realizing.
You haven't just
now.
clicked, have you? And you're trying to say we're stupid?
We've
Come
been
on,
trying
man.
to tell you this for years.
All the same distances.
Been telling
It's
you for
not
years.
the same distance. Holy
Come
shit,
on, man.
Flatside.
Come on, Flatside.
The same distances.
I know it's embarrassing in front of your audience and all, but
Not
Jeez,
embarrassing.
man.
You guys think it's not. It's just literally units.
Yeah, but you said your kilometers were the same as miles. What about that? You said that.
6,000
to the public.
6,283.6 kilometers is the same as 3,945 miles, which is the same as 33,929 nautical miles, correct?
But it's not
All the same distances.
3,959 miles, is it?
What you should do is on your little spreadsheet there, write down what the globe radius is and circumference as well. Just so you can compare the two, you know, like, because like we have a reality, right? That I haven't measured it, but I mean, these 69 miles, they're claimed to be measured, actual measurement. And these numbers, well, they seem to be correct. I mean, you look like a whiz at maths, to be honest.
No, definitely not.
No? Well, you worked out that circumference quite easily. You must be able to work out the claimed globe circumference. So I thought you should know these sort of things. Don't people get taught this in school?
This is what I told Sov. This is exactly what I told Sov. You guys are trying to wangle in misunderstandings.
No, this is reality, Flatsoid.
Between a
It's reality.
spherical circumference and a planar circumference.
A radius is a radius, man.
Circumference, yeah. The circumference.
Yeah, where's the radius taken from on a
the
globe?
circle.
Where's the radius taken from the globe?
It's supposedly taken from the center to the equator.
Okay. On the flat Earth, where's the radius taken from?
From the North Pole to the equator.
So the ones in 3 dimensions and the
different.
ones in 2 dimensions.
So they're different.
Are they? What's a 3D radius in difference to a 2D radius?
Center
What's
of
the
Earth.
difference? Yeah, it's a straight line. It's a straight line, Flatsoid.
Yes.
What's the difference between the straight lines in the two examples?
The one is going from a 3-dimensional object to the outside of the diameter. The
So it gets
circumference. The other
longer
one
or
is on the straight
shorter?
line. The other
So
one
does it get longer or shorter when it's in 3D then, the straight
You also
line?
have to understand your globe is based on pear-shaped.
Not
It's a
my
sphere.
globe. We're
It's
talking
not a
about
perfect-
geometry here, Flatsoid.
You guys are fighting for a globe, or you're not?
Yeah, my
No.
globe is the real globe. It's based on reality, Flatsoid.
Sure it is.
Yeah.
Reality.
Yeah. So
Major
Solve.
talking about
It
reality.
doesn't have any physical impossibilities that have never been reconciled, incorporated into it at all. None whatsoever.
Impossible to explain the sun
Solve.
circles and the straight line.
Solve, you're a carpenter, Solve, right? Solve, you're
What?
a carpenter. You're a
Yeah.
carpenter. Right, when you cut a piece of timber that's 60 inches long, and I want you to cut a piece of timber that's 60 centimeters long. Are they both the same?
No, of course not.
No, and neither is kilometers or miles.
I know that. That's what I was trying to explain
Right.
to you.
Yeah, but
That's why nautical
3959.
that's why nautical miles and statute miles are not the same.
So 3959 is not 6210.
What are you talking about?
The radius.
The radius of the globe is
Radius of the
3959.
equator?
The radius of your flat Earth is
Well,
6210.
you think the equator is the radius of the Earth. It's not.
Okay, I'm going to explain.
No, The equator's the
radius of
circumference.
your
Okay.
measured
I know where
flat
the
equator.
impasse is with you
Come
guys. I know
on.
where the
Go on,
impasse
then.
is, guys. Let's read it quickly on screen for you.
Put it on
The
the screen.
distance from the equator to the North Pole is approximately 10,000 kilometers. So that's literally what we have. Okay, 10,000 kilometers. See there?
Yep.
Okay, correct. The distance is also 1/4 of the Earth's circumference. So what is it to get the circumference? Therefore, the Earth's circumference is roughly 40,000 kilometers. Okay, but it says, guess how you get this distance? To find the distance from the equator to the North Pole, you divide the Earth's circumference by 4. Oh, is that maybe why it gets to that distance? What is divided by 4 of 40,000 kilometers?
Get out your.
Oh, does that come up to 5,400 nautical miles, like the flat Earth says? Oh, because you didn't know that you have to divide it by 4.
Yeah, division by 4.
Because it is?
Why are we dividing by 4?
Because of pi.
Because of pi?
Isn't pi 2?
Pi is 2. See you, dickhead. Jesus.
Pi, what pi? No, pi's not 2.
Aren't you guys using pi on the globe?
Spherical pi I heard is 2, but you know, if that's where you're at, flatsoid, you're lost anyway.
Well, here's the problem that you're not understanding too is that this was a huge problem when they were trying to map back in the day because going south of the equator was very, very dangerous. People got lost. People had problems. The reason
North
being,
and south are perpendicular to
holy
the
fucking
equator,
God!
aren't they?
Can you let somebody finish what they're saying?
Yeah, but since the equator,
I don't want to talk to you. I'm not asking you. Hold. I'm not asking you anything, and I will continue to talk over you. Okay,
because that's where the
until I am
latitude and the
finished, I will
longitude are
continue to
straight
talk
lines.
over you until I have finished my point. Okay. So when they were trying to map this out, they actually had a huge contest for somebody to come up with a way to keep accurate time at sea. Because the only thing they had once they went south of the equator, since they've lost sight of Polaris, is movement of celestial objects in the amount of time that has passed. The problem with keeping time was the timepieces that they had at the time. A spring-loaded clock would start to slow down. A pendulum clock wouldn't work because the sea is always rocking the boat. And this is how they ended up coming up with the quartz clock. So everything that was done south of the equator was done based on calculations of movement and time of the celestial objects. This was a big difficulty for them to actually get it right, especially when you're trying to make it be a ball. So by putting these coordinates down on global coordinates and not having GPS that has automatic meridian correction in it, as we have today, sailors will often get lost and go to the wrong place because the coordinate system was not matching reality.
But the actual land, when they measured that, was like a direct measurement, wasn't it?
Okay.
Using
this is what I was saying. This is what I was saying.
Cardinal directions.
Okay, this is what I was saying, guys. The reason it's done is because why? The globe is based on a sphere, correct?
Well,
So
not the real globe.
It has to.
A sphere. Everybody knows it's not a sphere.
So that's why it's based in 4. So yes, our math is 100% correct. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but this is an arc.
Oh, but you want to literally want to go and tell us our math is wrong because globe. No, I'm saying based on globe, our math is right.
Flatsoid.
Yeah,
This
but
distance,
okay.
this distance they're talking about is not a linear distance.
Oh,
it's an arc. It's a quarter of a great circle. That's what they're talking about.
Okay, let's put it this way.
That's straight though, right?
Okay, let me place it this way. Do you travel 5,400 nautical miles to go from the equator to Polaris? The GP of Polaris.
That's what you said you measured, yeah.
Do you? Yes, you do. On a flat Earth and a globe, correct?
No, I don't know. Did you say a ground position of a light in the sky?
Oh my word.
What do you think north is denoted by?
Well, I've been told that, you know, the Polaris is actually a circle of Polaris as well. I don't know whether you've actually ever talked to anybody about these sort of problems with the supposed claims, but yeah, you are aware that
So wait, now
Polaris,
in one breath you're saying celestial navigation is accurate, and then
I'm not
now in
saying
this
that.
breath you're telling me that it's not accurate because for some reason you
Well,
think
I don't
that
know whether I've
Polaris
said that or
moves.
not. So
You
Tell
think
me
Polaris?
this.
You think Polaris moves?
Tell me this. Tell me this. When
I don't want to tell you anything. I ask you a question. Do you think Polaris moves?
People have told me yes.
I
There
don't
is
give a fuck what
there is
people
a
have told you.
quarter of
Do you
three
think it or
quarters.
not?
There's a reported 3/4 of a degree. Yes. There's a
So you
circle
think that
of
Polaris moves?
1.5 degrees,
Yeah,
apparently.
that's what it said.
Okay. And this changes things how?
It means you don't know where north is. You've got a problem.
We do know where north is.
Well,
Where is it?
If you,
It's
well,
at the direct middle of the earth.
right, Polaris then.
Well,
You
Polaris
go south.
seems to be
You
right
go
above
south
it.
from the
Right,
GP
right,
circle of
right.
Polaris.
Hey
So
guys,
what?
I'm sorry, but I have to go sleep. Unfortunately,
hang
I've
on.
got work in a few hours.
The difference is, Flatsoid, is that the SOV says that the center is the north, and that's a flat, straight line to the equator. And the one you were describing from the north to the equator on the globe model is on the surface, and it's an arc. It's not a straight line from the
And let
center.
me ask you this.
Okay.
Why is there no great circle routes that go north to south or south to north? The reason you think there's a circle route is because you're following the circles of latitude.
Latitude and longitude is straight
That has
line.
nothing to do with a globe. That's retarded.
Okay, I'm going to do this again. If I had to climb in a boat right now, and I need to travel from, let's say, the 20th latitude to 0, will I travel the same distance on a globe and a flat earth to get to the same location?
It's reality, right? There is only going to be one distance.
It's a measured distance.
In reality.
He said you couldn't measure over the sea.
Right. So flat earth math, as you put it, is exactly the same as it measured in reality.
So you went to a
So
boat
because you have a
and used the thing that you
misunderstanding,
said can't
because you have
be
a
measured
misunderstanding
to get
of the
your
difference
example of
between the
how it was
circumference,
measured.
because you have a difference of a misunderstanding of the circumference of a sphere.
The difference
compared to a
is that
2D
you're measuring.
plane. You don't understand. You think there are discrepancies. There's no discrepancy. It just shows you don't understand the difference between sphere and plane.
No, you are measuring your.
Distances are exactly the same.
You are measuring your radius in the center
Distances
of
are
hell, where Nathan
exactly the
Oakley has put the flat
same.
Earth, right?
Distances are exactly the same.
And the reason why it's a quarter
Distances are
on the
exactly
globe
the
model
same.
that you use to save you,
Distances are
Flatsoid.
exactly the
You
same.
use the globe to try and
Distances are
save
exactly
yourself
the same.
from the
The
flat Earth
Distances
lie.
are exactly the same.
Circumference of the equator is
Distances
not
are exactly
the
the
same.
same.
The circumference of
Distances
the
are exactly
equator
the same.
is
We
not.
don't live in a
No.
circumference. We
The
live
flat
by
Earth is
measuring
39,000 miles, and the globe is said to be 24,900 miles. So it's different. They're not the same.
The only reason is because you're taking it from a sphere.
Yeah, but you
And
think
you are
it's not
measuring
been
place it
measured in
on a
reality, Flatfoot?
two-dimensional plane.
And
Not
you
been
You
measured
use
in
understand the
reality.
difference there. You
You
cannot
just-
claim 3 dimensions fit on a 2-dimensional
you
plane.
just use the
You
sphere to
literally don't
validate the flat
understand
Earth,
that there's a
Flatsoid.
difference. 2
You
dimensions is
just
only
use
based
the
on
sphere,
surface
the
area.
globe,
3
to
dimensions
validate
doesn't
your
have to,
measurements.
guys have to talk this way because they wouldn't shut up for 2 seconds because
Yeah, you
they
did
can't accept that it's the same distance. Thank you, Godzilla, for your $5 super chat. He says, get some sleep, Flatsoid. This isn't worth it. I agree.
Yeah, you
Thank you
have
very
to
much
use the
for the super
globe to
chat.
save
You
your
rock,
ass.
Godzilla. You rock. I really appreciate it, man.
You guys are
Because
really
of this
desperate.
measurement on the
Yeah,
globe,
wow.
this
really
is how the
desperate.
flat
You
Earth
guys
is.
are really desperate. Your
You're so-
desperation, your
Same
desperation
You're
for
letting
the
the
earth
side
to be
down,
a globe
Flatsoid, like you
Same
is
did your
so
family.
evident
Same
right now.
distance.
It is so evident right now how desperate you are to make people think that they're on a globe, or for you to believe that you're on a globe. It's so obvious. Just in your childlike banter that comes out of your face. It's the real world. It's the real globe. Blah, 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 blah. Jesus, criminally. Can you guys ever come up with something new? No. You have lost. The globe has lost. It's toast. More and more people are coming to the reality that Earth is not a ball of water flying around in the void.
14,000
Every
miles
fucking
of
day they're
prime
coming
real
out
estate.
of the woodwork, and this encourages more people who have thought that but were afraid to say shit to come out and say it. Major sport figures, political figures, that's getting up there. People are waking up. Your globe is toast. It's history. No one believes it anymore.
Yeah.
The veil
simple.
is shredding. People are not seeing the lies anymore. They're seeing right through all the lies. Not just about the globe, but about everything else in their world. They're seeing the lies, their history, their science, their medical profession, the cosmology, everything. And you know what else it's doing? It's bringing more and more people to God. It's bringing more and more people to God. It's bringing more and more people to Jesus. People are waking up, and there's nothing you can do to stop it.
Exactly. Well said, Solve. And that's why they're so frankly against reality, because it goes against their whole religious cult belief system. They can't accept that they're wrong. Remember, they forget we were there. We were also there at a stage. We were just man enough to own up to it and say, yeah, we were wrong. They just can't do that. So yeah, at the end of the day, guys, the distances are exactly the same. Prove me wrong. If I have to say 5,400 nautical miles equator from Polaris, it's 5,400 nautical miles. That's measured and calculated. You hate it, that's your problem. But like I said, the only issue these two have is they don't understand units of measure is exactly the same distance, just a different unit. It's quite funny. But I have to go sleep now, guys. Appreciate everybody. Solve, I don't know if you're going to have a show later.
No, not tonight, man. I got to work early in the morning. Got all kinds of little dumb shit to do. Got to put some hardware on some doors. I got to replace a couple pieces of siding, and I got to mix up some mortar and fix a porch step. So should be fun. Only going to be about 100 degrees tomorrow. Yeah, it's hot. It's 97
hot,
right
yeah.
now. Yeah.
Well, while we're freezing our butts off here, you guys are getting hot.
Oh, it's
That's
so
what I
hot.
said last winter. That's what I said to you last winter. I said, here I am freezing my butt off. You were sitting there sweating and shit. And I was like bundled up in a hoodie and shit.
Thank you for having the stream, Keith. God bless everyone. Take care in the meantime.
Well, thanks for having on, guys. Yeah, sorry, got so heated at stage. They do frustrate the hell out of me because they're so dishonest. It's kind of hard. So I do apologize for getting a bit triggered, but it's difficult to deal with these dishonest punks that literally, yeah, well, they're just here to be dishonest. How else can we put it?
Well, I mean, they're lost in their own cleverness in a way. I mean, they're not dumb. They're really not.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They
But
just
yeah,
riding on them being right. In order to prove how smart they are.
Dumbass Wesley in here. So you're a carpenter that can't measure angles. Yeah, I showed a video of all the trim work I did in that last job I did.
Well,
right?
well,
That
remember,
involves having miter saws, the whole 9 yards, man. You have to bevel all your pieces that come to a blind end in a 22.5 degree angle. I bet he doesn't know why. You know, you figure,
well,
this one's cut off at 60. That means I'm going to need a 30 on this piece to match it up and make it 90. I mean, what in the hell is he even talking about?
Remember, Wes is the same guy that says he's smarter and doesn't even know what the second of the thermodynamic states. He doesn't even know the difference between thermodynamic systems. The guy doesn't even know what gravity is. He doesn't know the difference between Newtonian and general relativity.
Got a picture of gravity right here. See?
It's quite sad. Okay, yeah, let me go. I'll see you guys Wednesday. Remember, tomorrow night I'm off. because it's
Peace
Tuesday.
out, bro.
Many, many blessings. And remember to catch PJ live tomorrow as he takes my shows on Tuesdays. Many, many blessings. May the pressure with you. Cheers, guys.
Right on, guys.
Woo.